Across the UK, online and on DAB. Access all radios.
Talk Radio. Give it some lip. Talk Radio.
Good evening, dear listener. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Ash. It's Monday evening. It's bloody hot. An extra button is coming undone for those of you who are watching on Periscope and like it to be a little bit erotic. Call us now, 0844 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road, it's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Down this road that never seems to end. When new adventure lies just around the bend. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's old style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's old style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. There's a world that's waiting to unfold. A brand new tale no one has ever told. We've journeyed far, but you know it won't be long. We're almost there and we paid our fare with a hobo song. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light. That
I was getting bored of that.
Oh, that was abrupt.
It was getting on my nerves. I didn't really want to play that at the start of the show, but I'm going to say something, and I don't want people to make a big deal about it. I don't want tweets and emails, and I don't want any of that. So I'm just going to say it, and then we're gonna carry on with the show.
Well,
I am suffering terribly today from a very, very poorly back. My lower back is agony. Such a strong word, isn't it? But I think it's appropriate. I am in agony. I'm walking with a stoop. I'm in a lot of pain. A weaker man. Have I got my Nurofen? I meant to. I got that in the car. A weaker man wouldn't have come in, so that's something. I have got Nurofen in the car, which I will be sending my glamorous assistant
Ed
to get later on in the show, because I will need pills if we're going to get anywhere through this tonight. So I have got a bad back.
All right, we won't hear any more about it from now on.
No, but I'm going to... Let me finish.
Okay.
I have got a bad back. It's very painful. I'm in a lot of pain. Today has been hard work. Sitting is uncomfortable. Standing is uncomfortable. Lying is uncomfortable.
But you're here to serve.
Every position I could be in is so painful.
But
I am here to serve, and I am going to do the show tonight proudly and bravely. And you won't hear another squeak out of me. You might hear another squeak out of me if and this is true, every now and then I'll get a spasm.
Oh.
And the spasm, I imagine,
connects to your mouth.
When women give birth to children...
Oh, don't go there.
I imagine that it's about a tenth of what this spasm...
Oh, really?
...is, yeah.
Oh, really?
And I can't help but involuntary... It's a squeak. It's not a scream. It's a squeak. So if you hear me just squeak, or if you see me on the periscope just go... like that, I've had a spasm. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about me.
You won't be mentioning it?
No. I will be keeping a spasm tally, and I'll read out those stats at the end of the show for anybody interested. With that in mind, I ask all callers, please, to treat me with kid gloves this evening. Caution and respect, of course, is expected every day, but perhaps without actually saying anything, but certainly conveying an element of love.
Oh, really?
And if you are of a faith, the good one, Christianity, or the dodgy ones, you know, from everywhere else in the world, if you could say a prayer, preferably in English, as I believe my God only understands that language. If you could say a prayer for me, that would be gratefully appreciated. It's my lower right back.
7 minutes. We've been on air.
I'm only going to mention it once.
Flipping heck. For the whole show. Well,
people often complain.
You do.
0844 499 1000 if you want to take part in the Backathon. People often complain. People often complain that in this show in particular, we dwell too much on my mental health. And I think they're right. We don't dwell enough on my physical health.
Which is also a problem.
Which is also, is in many ways even more problematic.
How is the hypochondria?
Well, I apparently it's life-threatening. Little joke there. So tonight's show, and everyone's saying, it's World Mental Health Day. You're going to do... No, I'm not going to do anything about World Mental Health. They can all go...
Ian's Health Day.
They can all go and take a running leap. Not off any high buildings, please, for God's sakes. So I'm going to buck the trend, and we'll be talking... We won't be talking, but we'll be thinking about my physical health and my ailing physical condition, which I don't give enough attention to. I'm happy to redress the balance there. How are you, Kath? Excellent. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, we call you back. Michael has called in this evening. Good evening, Michael.
Hello, Ian. How are you?
Good question. Well, it all started a little over a week ago when I lifted a guitar amplifier.
Right.
I felt a twinge. What are you doing? Are you locking someone in the boot of your car? And I'm not saying that just because I think I detected an Irish accent.
Of course. Yeah, I've met you before in one of your shows.
Was he moaning about his back then?
He wasn't. He was in top form, and his show was brilliant. So yeah, I was really impressed.
Medicated then,
Michael.
Yeah, probably.
Is it fair? I was high on the audience applause.
Fabulous.
Is it fair to say, Michael? Because I'm trying to work out which of my many fans you are. Is it fair to say that on Facebook you're a little bit of a stalker?
Stalker. I don't know. I admire the things that you say, and I think that you're very profound in terms of the honesty that you talk.
So, yes.
Yeah, you are. And I think that, if I'm entirely honest here, you underestimate yourself massively. I had to say it, sorry.
And Michael, have I got the right gentleman? You're a teacher at my old school.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Yes, I am. Yeah,
and Michael very kindly invited me back to my old school, and
but you didn't want to go.
I didn't want to go. No, there's too many ghosts in that building for me.
No, don't worry. If someone asked me to go back to my old school, I'd feel exactly the same. So it's fine.
Although I nearly drove past it today. Had I? I was driving up the Farnham Road. And
no way.
Yeah, I thought, I might try. I thought, I can't bother.
Yeah, thanks.
Well,
you're welcome to pop in for a cup of tea, but
that'd be weird, wouldn't it? I will. Do you know what, Michael? I will take you up on that one day. I will take you up on that one day.
Yeah.
You're very kind. Anyway, boss, what have you got for us?
Pardon?
What have you got for us this evening, Michael?
Well, I was just, I don't know why. I saw you'd, you're thinking, now I'm right, stalker. I'd seen your post on Facebook about calling in and listeners and stuff, and I just thought, today was like Mental Health Awareness Day, and I thought, like, at my work especially, like, I've had conversations with my kids. I'm really honest about, how I deal with my own depression and how I kind of come across to other people and stuff. And I think that in many instances, people aren't very honest about how they're really feeling, and there's such stereotypes and there's such, a lack of understanding. I mean, for example, a friend of mine was going through a really, really seriously tough time recently, and I actually went to the police because I was so worried about his welfare. I actually rang the Samaritans, and the guy was just so bizarre. But that's no disrespect to the Samaritans, because they do a really good job. But obviously it's volunteers.
Yes.
And I just was very disappointed on that particular occasion.
Why were you disappointed? Because they're not allowed to offer advice, are they? That's the thing.
He didn't. He was just really odd, because I was standing in the reception of the police station, and I asked if I could find out somewhere where my friend could get help, because, like I said, I was really worried about his welfare.
Yeah.
And they didn't even... He's just being really odd, and he was all like, "Are you on the line? Press a button if you're online." I was like, "Look..."
You sure it wasn't an automated message that you were talking to?
No, it was a proper person. But I mean, in terms of the work that they do, it is fantastic. And I think that, with all the troubles in the world and, social media and just people being very unkind to each other, I think people need to remember the positive things and the things that are really good in our lives. And we often are very guilty of focusing on the things that, can easily tarnish.
I know what we can. I know what we can all focus on, Michael. That will bring joy into our lives, and it's one very, very simple thing. We all just need to remember.
Oh no!
P-P-A-P. I have a pen. I have an apple. Apple pen. I have a pen. I have pineapple. Pineapple pen. Apple pen. Pineapple pen. Pineapple apple pen.
And I think it's simple things like that, Michael, that can lift us to a state of... Thank you. A state of cataclysmic euphemism or something, I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean...
Trying to remember the lyrics to a song and I couldn't. That's all we need, Michael.
Yeah, I mean, speaking in terms of songs and things, I used to be very close to a quite recognised musician.
Daniel O'Donnell.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I watched a funny programme about him that my friends in it didn't make me giggle. But no...
He's a Daniel O'Donnell.
Pardon?
Daniel O'Donnell is a real strange phenomenon, isn't he? Because he is sold.
Oh, I'll say. People told me I sound like him, and I was kind of like, "You're being really weird."
You do. You do. It's you got very soft
they are
lilt.
Quite close.
Pineapple
we are
and
quite,
grapefruit.
Not like that. We originally come from a similar area, so...
Well, you just... And he is... I'm sure he's a delightful human being. I could not name one Daniel O'Donnell song, but he sold millions. I don't really want
to. I know. It's all old ladies with purple rinses who buy his stuff, mostly.
He makes Cliff Richard look edgy.
Yeah, doesn't he?
Cliff Richard, no comment.
No comment, Michael, and that's probably the best route to take.
Each to their own.
Yes.
All I ever think of him, when I was growing up, seeing him at Wimbledon with really dodgy glasses on, and bling on his lapel.
Hang on, Cliff Richard had really dirty glasses on?
No, dodgy. Really sort of like dodgy, like really sort of like retro, big massive things.
Yeah, they were like a Hank Marvin type.
Yeah.
Like aviators.
That's exactly right. Yeah. And really feathered. Sort of hair full of hairspray. But, I mean, he is hugely talented. Like you say, he's made a career... Well, they both have made really huge careers for themselves.
Out of not a lot, which is bland.
I know.
Elderly ladies.
I mean, the thing is, being entirely honest here, Cliff Richard was very striking when he was younger. You know, he was... he was in films, wasn't he, and things like that.
He was a very pretty young man, wasn't he? Very pretty.
He was. And I think that, he has a relatively good voice. He's done a lot for... charities.
He's wired for sound.
Stop.
Hey, Michael, here's the thing.
What?
Cass will back me up on this. I learnt today how to sing opera.
Well,
no,
I'm not backing you up on that.
It turns out I can sing opera. Would you like to hear?
I'm sure you can. I'd love to hear. Go on.
Imagine you've been sat in the Covent Garden Opera House for 4.5 hours. It's getting to the end, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm just doing the final two notes of the opera.
Right. Okay. It's very Tarzan / The Lion King.
Isn't
I expect you to hold up a little lion cub and just look out into the horizon.
Yeah, I could do that. Michael,
Michael,
I've got to move on because I'm late for break. It's nice to talk to you. Thank you so much,
You
Michael.
could do that if you could raise your arms over your head, but obviously with today's struggles, you can't. Oh, he's doing it.
That is proper opera.
Well,
proper.
The boldest, baddest, baldest man in radio is back.
Hello, I'm a James Whaley. I got something special for you. You ready? Uno, duo, tre, quattro. When I was a boy, I used to have some hair. But when I grew up tall, it was no longer there. A big, bold, shiny head, it blind you with a light. If you want to fight, phone me every night. What's the matter, you? Well, got a big baldy head. What you think I do when you're phoning me up?
The whale rides again on Talk Radio.
Slap on my head.
James Whale and Ash, tomorrow night from 7 on Talk Radio.
That's me singing, you like, huh? Is it better than me talking?
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
What the hell was that? I mean, it's fair to say the trails here at Talk Radio we have no input in whatsoever. And some of them are very imaginative. That one with James Whale, I mean,
I would apologise to a nationality, but I'm not sure which one we're supposed to apologise to. Everyone. I'm apologising to everyone.
Wowzers. Of course, though, the song on which that is spoofing, Joe Dolce, Shut Up Your Face.
Kept.
It kept Ultravox Vienna off the number 1 spot.
Yeah.
And wasn't Joe Dolce, wasn't he Australian? An Australian...
Italian.
Australian-Italian. He's from Australia. And he doesn't view that song as a novelty record. He views it as an astute political statement about immigration and the way immigrants are treated and stuff, yeah.
Gosh.
So maybe that's what Whaley was doing. It's Monday evening, it's 10:20, it's Talk Radio. You know, I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm hungry.
It's a good sign.
It's a good sign. We've got the studio set to green, and you can call in 0844 499 1000. What are we talking about? Well, not a lot really. Do I need to keep setting up the stall? Perhaps I do at this early stage of the radio show. You can call in about anything you want to call in about. It's as simple as that. Oh, let me tell you some guests we've got coming up, hopefully this week. On Wednesday, we've got Mark Mason coming in, who's written this brilliant book. Now, it sounds boring. Right?
It does.
But it's brilliant. Male Obsession, A Journey Round Britain by Postcode. It sounds boring. It's not. Did you know that until 1975, the Shetland Islands were called Zetland?
No, I didn't
See,
know that.
exactly.
Well, now I do.
Did you know up until, I'm going to say 1969, if you sent a letter that wasn't sealed, you got it was cheaper.
Why?
So they could check what was in it. It was cheaper. All of that stuff and more is in this book. He's written some brilliant books. I think he's just so clever and knows all of this trivia, but presents.
But he's also really funny.
Yeah, he's coming in on Wednesday, and he's going to be talking about that because that book's just coming out on paperback. Male Obsession. It's a brilliant, brilliant book. And then on Friday, hopefully, we're going to link up live with Los Angeles, California. And last week we spoke about the Bruceploitation movies, all the kind of... Bruce Lee, when he was alive, only made, I think, 4.5 films. But when he died, there were about 300 or 400 other films that came out supposedly starring Bruce Lee or Bruce Lee lookalikes. There's a guy whose name escapes me. Let me just find his name. Michael Worth. He's writing a book about this, and he's doing a documentary about it. He's going to come on the show on Friday night. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And I'm just, all of those of you that have watched Holy Hell for Film Ring, I am just waiting for Will, who made the film, to get in touch. Although I've got his mobile number, so if we don't hear from him by Wednesday, I'll give him a call or something, and we'll sort out him coming on the show. So hopefully that will be Thursday, but it might be next week. But that's the film you need to watch for Film Ring, Holy Hell.
And it's a film and a half.
Isn't it just? It's really divided people and divided sympathies. And I can understand why. I have nothing but sympathy for everybody involved in that story. You know, I find it an incredible story, but lots of people have come away saying, well, got no sympathy for him. They were all suckers.
Well, they were innocent souls looking for something.
Well, you know, it'd be interesting to see. Will was one of those people. So, whatever. Yeah. So that's your homework. Try and have it watched by Thursday. We're going to aim to have it on Thursday. Holy Hell on Netflix. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. We call you back. Matthew's on the line. Good evening, Matthew. Let's try. Hello? Oh, Matthew's gone. Okay.
Oh, Matthew.
Matthew. Try and call him back, please, Ed. Instead, it means we go to, whenever a caller drops off, we have to go to the subs bench, and on the subs bench, it's Alan Caddick.
What kind of cake?
Lemon drizzle.
Oh, you can't go wrong with lemon drizzle.
No cake for me, Alan.
Well, you're on a diet?
I'm on a diet, although saying that, I was in bed last night. I went to bed very early, about 8 o'clock, 7:30.
So you didn't watch X Factor then?
Didn't watch the X Factor. I don't watch the X Factor. I don't like the X Factor.
Well, I could tell you who's going to win it.
Will it be Honey G, will it?
No, it'll be Simon Cowell, like he does every year.
Thank you very much indeed.
No, I think Honey G's performance was really good.
Well, I don't know who any of these people are. I don't like the X Factor. I think it's quite...
Pony?
Well, no, not phony or pony, did you say?
Pony.
I would say pony, yeah. I just think it's quite mean-spirited.
Why did you say that?
Because the first, 3 weeks, it's all laughing at mentally ill people.
That's the auditions.
Yeah, I think, and I used to like that years ago. I used to like that and found it funny. And then one night I was watching it, I thought, these people need help. They don't need they don't need 4 millionaires or however many it is. 4 millionaires sat there laughing at them.
Yeah. The auditions for the X Factor once.
I know you did, and they told you had a good chance, didn't they?
No, I didn't get through.
Oh man!
What did you sing?
Cliff Richard, the next time.
I don't know that one. How's that go?
They say I'll love again someday. A true love will come my way the next time.
But it's got words and a tune, though. I assume, has it?
I was singing it a cappella.
Okay, well, your clothes off.
Like you do an opera.
Yeah, we go. So, no, I didn't say, but I went to bed at 8:30. Then I woke up about 11:30, right? And I was hungry, really hungry.
We had a case of the munchies.
Yeah, a case of the munchies. So I went down to the petrol station, and the bloke went, we're shut. I said, well, it says 24 hours there. And he said, yeah, well, we're shut. I said, can I get some chocolate? So I bought a big bag of minstrels and a big bar of chocolate, and I went, and I went and ate that, you see.
Yeah. What did Fandango say?
Yeah, let's just say it didn't go down too well.
Oh dear.
So I'm trying to lose weight, but I just can't lose it, Alan. And I'm hungry.
Have you signed up to a gym for a personal trainer?
No, it's all money, isn't it? It's all money. I don't want to spend money on something like that. We've got a tweet in, Alan, from Sheridan.
Evening, Sheridan. What's your cryptic question this time?
Hi, Iain. How is Alan Caddick? And what if Alan Caddick?
The first one, how is Alan Caddick? Alan Caddick is very well. And what was the second part?
What if Alan Caddick?
What if? That's a very quick one from Sheridan.
Isn't it just, Alan? Isn't it just? Well, don't think about it too long, otherwise you'll wet yourself. Thank you. And also, I've found, near where I live, within walking distance... Oh, man, there's a kebab van.
No!
Yeah, there's a kebab van.
Well, when you're feeling strong, you need to go to the kebab van.
And ask him to move on.
Ask him never to serve you, no matter how much you beg and plead.
I need to go around all the local kebab vans with a picture of me saying, do not serve this man.
No matter how convincing you may seem.
Yeah, well, however much I beg. Was it? It's a young Frankenstein. However much you hear me scream,
do not
open the door within seconds. Let me out! I was joking. 0844 499 1000. We'll have a nice kind of laid back entree into the week. Let me give you 2 ways you can enjoy the show. Oh, here's 2 ways. If you've got your phone or your tablet or your computer, you can watch us. You can see the lady, you can see me.
What lady?
The woman.
No.
And my beard is growing back. You can see, and the woman's beard has grown back.
Doesn't take long.
If you go to periscope.tv/Iain Lee, IAINLEE, you can do that. And you can also listen to us online. And do you know what would be really, really helpful in these in this ever-changing world in which we live in, with new bosses coming and going? Do you know what would be really helpful? Is if you are listening to this on your phone or on DAB, or you're watching us on Periscope, it would be great if you'd go to talkradio.co.uk and activate the player there. You can turn the volume down, but it just kind of makes us look popular. So I would appreciate that. No, don't worry if it's too much of a hassle. You know, it would be slightly helpful if you go to talkradio.co.uk and you can listen to us there. Jonathan, stay there. We'll come to you after this.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over.
Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
I would suggest that we'd go through the papers, but I don't know if it's just me, but the last 2-3 weeks of me doing this show, I have found nothing of any interest in the newspapers whatsoever. They are as dull as bum water. Is that a phrase? There's nothing in there. Maybe we'll have another little scoot around a bit later on during the show, but I'd rather you called in and told me what you wanted to talk about. 0844 499 1000. Jonathan, I'll come to you in a minute. We call you back. It's a phone-in show unlike any other phone-in show, in as much as I'm not going to sit here and tell you what we're talking about tonight. That's for you to decide. Throughout the course of the evening, I shall talk about my weekend and my day and stuff that happened and stuff that I saw and stuff that I thought. But equally, I'd like to hear stuff that you have got up to at the weekend. Can I ask you one question, dear listener? And this is for a sort of side project Kath and I are working on, but I'm really looking into cosplay. And Kath and I are going to the MCM Expo the end of October, and there'll be some cosplayers there, and we're going to meet some cosplayers and hang out with them and stuff. But I don't get it. I don't get it. And I'd like for you, if you could, maybe you listening at home, you do this, or you know people that do it. Could you try and explain it? And it's not in a I want to laugh at you for being an idiot kind of way, because who am I? My weekend was spent in a church hall with 84 other middle-aged men talking about the Beach Boys. So I can't knock anybody for what you get up to in your spare time. I'd really, and we're emailing a few people, and I've had a few people get in touch, and kind of one really interesting person said you kind of help with her depression and her anxiety and all that kind of stuff. But I'd really like it if you could let me know what it does for you. Now, cosplay, for those who don't know, I think I've got this right. I thought it was just dressing up as Japanese video game characters, but it's not. It's dressing up as any character from film, comic, movies, TV, or video games. I think. I think so. It's anything.
Yeah.
And
they take real care to be as absolutely accurate as possible.
Oh, the costumes are amazing.
And it's a big no-no to just go and buy a costume off the.
Is that the?
Yeah. You get extra kind of kudos for making your own costumes and.
I didn't realise that.
For spending as little as possible, actually.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So, and I know this is a long shot, but if that's you, or you know someone who's into it, could you give them a phone call and get them to call in? Because I really, Cass and I are making a documentary about it, and I just can't quite get my head around it.
I think I get it.
Really?
Yeah.
What would you dress up as?
Oh, God, all sorts. I have dressed up as things.
I'd be Shaggy.
Right.
But like sexy Shaggy.
I think I could do Velma quite easily. In fact, I've pretty much got the costume.
08444. When you wear glasses, you have 0844 499 1000 is the telephone
I've done
number.
Wonder Woman in the past.
Whoa! Oh, you mean Jonathan?
Hello.
Hello, Jonathan. What you got for us?
Oh, I'm fed up. I'm absolutely fed up.
What's wrong, brother?
Last few, everything. I discussed this with my friend, and it feels like we're living in a real-life version of the movie Freds. It's a video game being played by a 5-year-old.
What's your friend's name?
Dorian.
Okay. And how do you know Dorian?
I've known him for years, and recently we've been... because a mutual friend of ours had his house burned down for some reason, and we haven't seen him since. We're sort of keep in touch with each other to find out what, if anything, has happened.
So hang on a minute. A friend of yours had his house burnt down and he's disappeared?
Yeah.
Where is it? What? Hang on a minute. What happened there?
I don't know. Apparently, it just caught fire. There may have been an electrical fault.
But he's alive?
Well, we think he's alive.
But he just fled from the scene?
I don't think he's fled. He lives in he spends most of his time abroad or at a holiday resort in this country. And we've had conflicting reports that he's living, he's okay, but living at the resort, or he's in hospital with some sort of health problem. He is 77 coming up.
77? Oh, gosh, that's terrible. The fella's house has burnt down. Has he not got well, maybe he hasn't. He's not got a mobile or anything.
I haven't heard from him for a month.
Have you got his mobile number?
No, I don't. He keeps changing his phone because of or whatever. I don't really want to talk about him
because of what?
I don't like to discuss his business with others because he's a good chap, but I don't want to abuse his trust.
Okay, that's fine. It's got everyone scratching their heads, though, Jonathan, wondering what you're doing with a 77-year-old bloke.
That comment reminds me one of the reasons why I'm absolutely fed up with human beings and planet Earth, and I am wondering whether if we are living in a version of Freds, whether it would be better off if the bombs did go off and wipe us all out, because we are just, as a species at the moment,
why are you so upset?
Stupid and so annoying.
Why are you so upset at the moment?
Oh, it's everything. The media constantly insulting my intelligence, the media constantly making trifles out of non-events while refusing to call the elephant in the room.
What, do you mean Muslim? Is the elephant Muslim?
No, it's not Muslims. For once, it's not them.
Is it women?
But and if it isn't the media, it's the Muslims, or it's the annoying social justice warriors in the media and on the internet that really get my blood boiling, because it's like talking to a brick wall. They are so stupid. You may as well just put a gun to your head and blow your brains out.
But Jonathan, come on, you're better than that. I hate the lazy catch-all term of the media. The media, because it could be argued that I'm the media, you know, and to lump me in with the Daily Express, with Sky News, with ITV. Do you know what I mean? It's just what aspects of it specifically are upsetting you?
That the mainstream media does not tell the truth. It has an agenda.
Well, it tells the truth. It tells
lies about it.
Well, it tells. Well,
I wish the media would be honest about.
What you mean is you want the media to tell the story the way you see it, and because it's not the way you see it, then you're calling it out as a lie.
I want it to be objective. It's not objective. You can have biases and still be objective.
Well, you're being very vague. You're skirting around the issue. What is it? Is it about Donald Trump saying he wants to grab a woman's vagina?
Oh no, that is one of the stupid irrelevancies. But I'm thinking more about people like that idiot James O'Brien comparing Trump to Savile.
Well, I didn't hear that, but it's not irrelevant, is it? If the potential president of America is a sexually aggressive, woman-grabbing misogynist. Now, okay, we can kind of say what about Bill Clinton and stuff.
If that's so, if you really care about that, why aren't people calling out Bill Clinton?
Well, because he's not running to be the president of the United States of America.
He was the president, and his wife is running as the president, and they're a package deal.
But that was 20 years ago, and people are calling out Bill Clinton. People are. But Jonathan, people are. I just mentioned Bill Clinton. You chose to ignore it. People are calling out Bill Clinton.
Yeah, because we've got a candidate that actually says, "Hey, look, you're having a go at me. What about this guy? What he did was
I know,
inexcusable."
I agree. What he did was inexcusable, but he's not running for president. So and Donald Trump is, and he said that he feels quite comfortable grabbing a woman's vagina.
Oh,
because he's famous.
That is just banter.
No, it's not.
Did that in real life,
it's not.
It's
not. Do you know what the rest of it? Because I hadn't heard that bit about, and he uses the P word. I hadn't.
Oh God! And that's another thing that. Hello.
Yeah, Thank you. I hadn't heard that bit. I just heard the rest of it about get me some Tic Tacs in case I kiss them, and I kind of thought, well, it's grim, but. Really, it's not the end of the world. And I'd missed the bit about grabbing a woman's P word.
He never did that. He just
well. First of all, there are several accusations that people are trying to get into legal cases against him. So, but you don't know. You don't know that he wouldn't do that. You don't know it. And while I may have had sexual badinage with friends. That particular line is thoroughly unpleasant and is inexcusable for someone who wants to be the president of the United States of America.
It was a private comment made long before he was a politician. Well, it's not relevant to the job.
Well, I think it is. I think it is.
Whereas Clinton's antics certainly are.
Well, it's not. But that's even less relevant because that was 20 years ago, and he's not running for the president. I think we're going to disagree on this one. Don't let it get to you, man. Don't let James O'Brien wind you up.
It's not just James O'Brien. It's his idiot listeners.
Oh. Well, that's a lot of people to wind you up. But you wind my listeners up. That's all right, isn't it? It's all part of the theatre.
Your listeners, James O'Brien's listeners.
Do you know what? That would be an interesting question to ask. I'll ask on Twitter. I don't know if they are. I think there is a significant crossover, but I don't know if they are. But no, it's because you come across. You wind up most of my listeners because you come across as quite obnoxious and unpleasant. Now, I know there's more going on, which is why I let you come on and why we have these conversations and why sometimes we get on and why sometimes we don't. But you are deliberately hamming up the character of an obnoxious misogynist, and that's fine. If that's how you want to play it, that's fine. I can go with that.
I don't need to ham up much of anything.
No, you do, but you do a bit though, and you do it beautifully. You play the part beautifully. I'd love to know why you play that part, but we'll get there one day.
Well, Pablo's been bothering me about a podcast interview.
Well, that's up to Pablo. It's nothing to do with me. Jonathan, I've got a crack on. Nice talking to you, mate.
Thanks.
Have a good evening. Bye-bye. 0844 499 1000. Talk Radio.
Unmissable late night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation.
Make contact with Iain.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
Oh, 0844 499 1000. We're playing with the lighting in the studio. I think we've found something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, busy month. So October the 30th, it's Performance Ring, and I need to next week I'll email everybody and make sure they're still up for doing that. Then Monday, October the 31st, Halloween, All Hallows Eve. We are doing the show live from a proper, actual, legitimate, haunted pub. Where is this? Macclesfield.
Macclesfield.
The people are invited to come, aren't they?
It's called the Bait Inn.
The what?
The Bait.
The Bait Inn.
The pub will be open, I'm guessing.
Can you repeat that verbatim? Yeah, the pub will be open, I would have thought, for the first hour.
Yeah.
So people can come down in the Bait Inn in Macclesfield. You're welcome to come down. We're going to be doing the show from there. And hopefully we're going to have a medium there as well, who refuses to go upstairs after what happened last time.
And maybe people from the Paranormal Society who are going to be doing an investigation there a couple of days before. Why would they not do Halloween? Maybe it's too much for them to handle. How many spooks are supposed to be there? Like 12 or something?
Something like... There's 15, wasn't it? Something like that. There's
Loads.
a lot of ghosts. So that's happening on Monday the 31st of October. Have you booked out the Comrex?
No, but I will.
You're such a dick. Surely I thought you'd have done that when we arranged this 2 months ago.
I mentioned it. No one uses it, do they?
Simon!
Hello.
Hello, Simon.
It's not what I was ringing up about, but Jonathan got me thinking. I just wondered, have you ever been in an igloo before?
A proper one?
Yeah.
No. I don't think they exist.
You're quite tall like me, so I imagine it would be quite difficult.
I don't... The image that we have of igloos, I don't think is accurate. I think they are actually much bigger than that and not as round as we're led to believe. And I don't believe they have that crawly-in little tunnel at the front.
They always penguins, room for penguins, but nothing else. Have you ever seen another animal go in one?
I don't... Well, penguins don't live in them, only in Pingu.
That's where I'm going wrong.
That's what you see. You can't base your entire knowledge of the Antarctic on Pingu. Sorry, Simon.
Sounds disappointed.
Yeah, well, you would be.
Well,
you would be.
Never mind. Anyway, I've not called for a while because I've been on a cruise ship.
Oh.
And it's horrible. It was horrible.
What were you doing on there?
It was for a conference, so left from Southampton and sailed to the Channel Islands and back.
Glamorous.
Yeah.
A conference of what? Misery?
Marketing.
Well, yeah, it was close.
Conference.
It was close.
But it's like, when I came off it, I still feel like I've been on a boat. I still feel it now.
You still feel like you're going up and down?
What's his name? Tim Peake, the astronaut? Is that his name?
Yep.
It's what Tim Peake feels after being in space. He's got...
Did you see that in Pingu?
No, forget Pingu. It's got nothing to do with this. But, yeah, it's a similar thing. So how long were you on the boat for?
4 nights.
What, and you've got sea legs?
Yeah. There was people being sick in the toilet and stuff, and it was proper rocky.
I don't like boats, and when we went on the last time I went to Greece, we got the ferry from one island to another, and it's an hour. And first 10 minutes, it's fun. I was really enjoying it with the boys, and then I just went, boys, Daddy has to go and sit down. Go off with your mother and don't talk to me for the rest of the trip. And I had to go and sit there and just steady myself because I felt awful. You know, I've got very sensitive brain. It's
loose.
I think it's loose, and that's what makes me so creative and makes me such a good singer. But it is loose, and I can't even stand on the edge of. I can't even push the boys on the roundabout at the playground. It makes me feel nauseous.
Wow. You're a very delicate flower, aren't you?
I'm very, very delicate. I know I come across as a tough guy, but yeah, I'm delicate.
I'm normally very good. I think it's to do with my low centre of gravity.
You're quite short and stocky.
Sturdy.
The touch of the Bella Embergs about you.
Wow.
Do you not burp even when you're sick?
No.
Most people do, don't they, when they're sick?
He's got something wrong with his sphincter.
Yeah, most people are not like me, mate.
Isn't that right?
Most people are not like me.
Anyway, so normally I don't have problems on boats. I've been on ferries and that, no problem. This summer I went on a pedalo with a slide on it.
Oh.
And they made me sit on the back, facing backwards, right? I could have yacked there and then. I was holding it together. I was there with the kids trying to tough it out and be brave mum. But really, if they hadn't been there, I would have been all over the shop. And then,
if I'm on a boat, I can't do it from behind.
One of the kids we were with started jumping off, right? And I was thinking, please don't let's make a meal of this. Let's just do a quick one round the bay and then get back in, right? He's diving off it, coming back up. He's got dead fish that he's found.
Disgusting.
Flapping around. It was horrible. It was hell.
The sea.
It's dirty.
If there was some way we could just burn the sea, it's horrible. And I tell you why. I was never very brave in the sea until the first time I went to Greece with my girlfriend, who then became my wife. And I went out to the sea. I was showing off. I was like, oh, I can do this. And I swam all the way around this rock and all this stuff. And then I was like, oh, this is brilliant. The sea's brilliant. I love it. And then I trod on what's an underwater porcupine?
An urchin.
And a sea urchin.
Mm-hmm.
Trod on a sea urchin. Stuff that. I swam out and I was in agony. I had these spikes, about 20 spikes sticking out of me. Never went in the sea again. No, thank you.
I went snorkeling once, right? Nobody told me that you're supposed to do this.
You got to breathe.
Right, I didn't realise that. You see it on the telly and they're just breathing through the pipe, just normal. I nearly drowned.
What did you do? What were you doing wrong?
Just breathing normal. But you have to push it out.
You breathe through the... Well, you don't... Well, you don't... First of all, you keep the top out of the top of the water.
I did that.
And then you just breathe.
No, but you have to breathe like Darth Vader. You can't just breathe normal.
No, you don't. You just breathe. You don't breathe through your nose.
No, you have to go...
No, you don't.
You do.
What are you talking...
Right, no one told me that, and there was me sinking and everyone laughing.
No, you don't. You breathe, so you got this top... 0844
You do, you have to push it out, don't you?
How do you...
Yeah, you have to breathe heavily through your mouth.
No, you don't.
You do.
Utter
you do, because if you just breathe normal, like and pretty, like everyone else, you don't get any air.
When I went to the Seychelles... Well, no, was it the Seychelles or was it...
I don't know.
The Maldives, the Maldives, the ones that are sinking. Very posh there, very, very posh there. And we had a day snorkelling, right? I lasted 10 minutes because I was getting bitten by these invisible fish.
Invisifish.
They're tiny little invisible fish. And I was in there and we had this guide and I kept going, what is that? He went, oh, the fish must like you. Let's go over here where they're at. And they followed me and they're all biting me. I was like, no, sorry, son, I'm not having this.
We got taken out on a boat. This is when we went to St. Martin in the Dutch Antilles, right? We
Antilles and a pretty face.
Anyway, we got taken out on this boat in standard people getting murdered on holiday style, right? But we didn't. He was actually a nice bloke.
Yeah.
And as we were going over in this boat, he was ripping up bits of bread and we were trying to work out what was going on, thinking that picnic's going to be no good.
Yeah.
Took the bag underneath the water with us, right?
Yeah.
And he released it and all these fish came out and it was amazing. So that was good.
That's exciting.
If something good has happened to you, call us now. Anyway, Simon, it's your fault, that is. Yes.
One more thing. I'm just starting to learn to play the guitar.
Oh.
Doesn't it hurt your fingers?
Yes, it does.
Yes, mate.
Have you got a steel string guitar, though?
I have no idea. It's just got strings.
Is it
what is it, electric or acoustic?
Acoustic.
Right. Is it like Spanish style or normal?
It doesn't.
It's off Amazon.
Thanks very much indeed, Simon. I mean, he works in the music industry.
Get yourself one with vinyl strings.
Andy is correct. Snorkeling, no, you breathe normally. Thank you.
You don't.
You do, though.
You don't.
Quote, next tweet, I'm a scuba diver. I know this stuff. So...
Scuba.
What does scuba stand for? It's an aphorism, isn't it?
A what?
An anachronism.
Go again?
It's an antidote?
No. It's short for something.
Yeah. And I think the S stands for scuba. The C stands for Cuba.
I went swimming in Cuba as well. I thought I was going to die.
Don't tell me another boring swimming story.
I was behind a rather large Russian and my flipper came off.
The last one was... Well, that's rubbish. I'm going to say subcutaneous...
No.
Underwater breathing apparatus. It's underwater breathing apparatus. So, what's the S and the C stand for?
Silly.
No, don't look. No one look at a computer. No one look at a computer. It's underwater breathing apparatus. Self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. Boom!
What do you want, £5?
I want to be on a pub quiz team, and that be a question. That is brilliant.
You would need 3 other friends.
No, I wouldn't. I'd do it myself, and I'd call myself the
Iain.
the Lucky Dong. Got the Lucky Dong. Dong is what I'd say every time I went up to get a prize. Lucky Dong.
Oh, good.
It's going to be one of those shows this evening, dear listener. One of those shows. 0844. Huh?
Nothing.
What are you laughing at?
Lucky Dong.
I didn't... What did you say? I didn't get cold feet this evening.
No.
I don't
think it's for you.
I think
it was for me, but it got ruined.
What they did when John Thompson killed himself but didn't kill himself... Spoiler alert, guys, sorry. It's the equivalent of at the end of Give My Regards to Broad Street starring Paul McCartney when the whole thing was a dream. I don't think you should be allowed to do that in TV.
They're always doing it.
Well, it's cheating. It's cheating.
I'll deal with it. It's not for you. It's for me. You spoilt it.
I've got so much respect for
Faye Ripley.
Nearly all of the actors. There are 2 actors out of the 5.
I bet I can name them.
That I have zero respect for. Go on.
The guy that plays David. Who was in prison.
Okay, interesting. You should
Robert
pick
Bathurst.
Him. Right, yeah.
Well, I just don't think you...
Okay.
Don't think he's your kind of person.
Right.
And I think because you're kind of... Because you wish you were sort of... You had his job.
Go on, who's the other actor? I don't...
The man Adam.
Who?
Adam, the guy who plays Adam.
Who's Adam?
The Irish fella.
Jimmy Nesbitt?
Yeah.
You've got 50% of
so not Robert Bathurst.
You've got 50% of the cast that I don't respect from Cold Feet. Correct.
Right, who's the other one then?
50%. I'm not... that's a mean game.
I know, you are mean though, aren't you?
Well, yeah,
I'm horrible.
It's a mean game to play. I'm just, happy for them that they've got work. They've all got work again.
One of them's got your job.
Technically.
Well.
Right, coming up after the news, clowns. What's that all about? How far is too far when it comes to defending yourself against marauding clowns? I'm not sure I buy... Interesting tweet you just sent there. I can see your reflection in the glass.
I didn't send a tweet.
I saw it. You looked at a picture and then you closed it down.
You can check it.
08. We'll talk about this clown phenomenon that's reaching across the world because I'm not convinced it's genuine. 0844 499 1000. So we're looking for cosplayers and we are looking for people who have had clowns bursting out on them. Now, apparently it's happening all the flipping time. I'm not convinced. Do give us a call, dear listener. 0844 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
A new kind of talk radio. We'll get you talking. Talk Radio.
So do give us a call, dear listeners. I can see Scott is queued up to be the first caller after 11. You could be joining him. Very simple. 0844 499 1000. You'll speak to the delightful Ed if he's not off busy making cups of tea. And we call you back. It's very, very simple. Do stay tuned. I'm Iain Lee. It's coming out to 11 o'clock on Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Everybody must be on drugs in this town. Or maybe there's a strange new bug that's been going round. 'Cause people all smiling and waving as I go by. Everybody loves me and I don't know why. It used to be a kind face was a rarity. But now I got friends coming out both ends just to visit me. sense, cause my confidence has been destroyed. Everybody loves me, but I'm paranoid. Whatever happened to the cold, cruel world I used to understand? When every road was paved with wet cement. Back when if I was hanging off a cliff, you'd be walking on my hands. Somebody please tell me where all the good times went. Ooh, every time I needed something, no one ever gave me nothing, and it never failed. I'd have to sit and try to shout and write myself a letter just to get there. But now my ears are singing with the damn jingle ringing of a telephone. Everybody loves me, but I'm not at home. Whatever happened to the cold, cruel world I used to understand? When every road was paved with wet cement. I do remember back when if I was hanging off a cliff, you'd be dancing on my hands. Somebody please tell me where all the good times went. Every time I needed something, no one ever gave me nothing, and it never failed. I want to sit right down and write myself a letter just to get there. But now my ears all singing with the dancing ringing on my telephone. It's too late. Everybody loves me, but I'm not at home. He's paranoid. Everybody loves me. He's paranoid. Everybody loves me.
I can do that. Easy. I can do the shouty singing. That's enough of that. I can do the shouty singing. Very similar to my opera voice. Very similar. Powerful. Evening, dear listener. This is Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio. 0844 499 1000. It's a phone-in show unlike any other phone-in show in that we don't sit here and talk. You bet on the other place. What? Trump and Brexit, probably. Brexit will be on the agenda. They'll be the two main things. If you want to call in about Trump and Brexit, you can do. But I'm not going to tell you what to call in about. It doesn't work like that, really. Because I think it makes for dull listening. And I've been listening to a lot of radio over the weekend. I always listen to other phone-in shows and Radio 4. I listen to a lot on LBC and some of the BBC stations. A, to see if there's anything good I can nick, if I'm completely blunt. You know, you never know. You know, I'm not averse to nicking stuff. Nicking techniques and styles and stuff, not lifting gags or routines and things. But also, it's good to keep an eye on the competition. And I think it's pretty safe to say that most of it was quite dull this weekend. Quite dull. This might be quite dull. It doesn't always work doing a show like this. And it's hard work. And I don't know if we're quite getting there today. It feels like a bit of a flat Monday show. But that's the thing, you know. If I'm not going to come in with an agenda, if I'm not going to come in with loads of stuff pre-planned to talk about, then sometimes it might not work, and sometimes it will be a little bit flatter. But I think it's worth it for when the show does work. It has an energy and an excitement to it, an electricity that you don't get from the shows where it's, for this hour we're going to talk about this, and then for the next hour we're going to talk about that. So, you can call in about literally anything you want. Wow, imagine that freedom. Imagine having that freedom. This is the only place, it's the only radio show in the UK. I'm going to say the world, but I'm prepared, again, if someone can prove me wrong, let me know. It's the only radio show in the United Kingdom, let's say the world, until we have evidence otherwise. And boy, oh boy, I'd be glad to get that evidence as a fan of radio. It's the only show in the world where for 3 hours you can call in about anything you want. 0844 499 1000. Now, Talk Radio has recently been taken over by News Corp. I've been told they have no plans to change the show, and that's fantastic news. But you just don't know, do you? You just don't know how long you're going to have something. So, make the most of it. What's a big cup? Look at the size of that.
Big cup, big boy.
Struth. There's a water shortage, though, obviously. Thank you, Ed. Make the most of it while it's here. I've not heard anything. I don't know anything. And as far as I'm aware, you know, we're okay and we're staying here. But you just don't know, do you? So, 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Scott's on the line. Evening, Scott.
Hello, across the North East. What's happening?
What kind of cake?
Cake. I never heard nothing about no cake, you know, Iain, my friend.
Okay, that's fine. Now, it says you're from Newcastle on my screen.
That's correct.
But are you born and bred there?
Yep, I can confirm.
You can confirm that, can you?
I can even, yes, I can even.
Well, let me just log that into my data banks. Hang on a second.
Hey, you knew my name, you know. When I rang up, I've called once before.
Yeah.
And when I rang up, he knew my name. I answered the phone. Is that Scott?
Yeah.
I was impressed. Like.
It's Ed. He remembers the numbers.
I thought
he's
so,
like he's like a Kiwi version of the Rain Man, and he can remember phone numbers with just a glimpse.
I think I seen him. He was on a documentary, was he?
He might have been. He might have been on a documentary. Yes.
Right.
Yes. What have you called him? What have you called him for, Scott?
Well, I was just listening. I'm doing a bit of decorating, you know, and I was just listening to the radio for the subject. You're talking about the sea, for one.
We were talking about the sea, yeah.
You were. I remember when I was a kid, you know.
Did your story involve giving bread, putting bread in the water and fish appearing?
Well, I do remember. On holiday.
This is the worst Geordie accent I have ever heard in my life.
What? Hello?
This is the worst Geordie accent.
What do you mean? What are you trying to imply?
I'm not trying to imply anything. I'm neither trying nor implying. I am stating that this is the worst Geordie accent.
What, you mean me struggling to understand my accent, or you think I'm doing a bad imitation of an accent?
Correct.
The second, what, you think I'm imitating my own accent?
Correct.
Well, you have a look at the area code for my phone number, mate. It's not rocket science, is it?
Yeah, no, you're phoning from Newcastle. That is correct. But not everybody in Newcastle speaks with a Geordie accent.
Well, that's granted, but I mean, what have I got to gain from ringing up and trying to put a Geordie accent on? What accent would you prefer to have? Would you prefer to have a southern accent? Would that be more convenient for you?
Your original accent would be more convenient for me.
I swear on my mother's eyes that I am speaking here in my 100% natural voice.
Listen, if people want to phone up and do accents, I'm fine with that. I'm
blown away by these accusations. I promise you. I promise you, you know, no messing about yet, man to man. I promise you that this is my normal accent, you know. Mm-hmm. Do you want to get me mother to ring you up?
Yes, please. Is she still with us?
She was at the bingo. She'll be in about. Oh, she'll be in, but she'll probably getting in bed. But I didn't realise the time. There, I thought it was about 10 o'clock.
Aye, it's 11 minutes.
Don't push us till I wake her up, you know. And she will ring.
Don't wake your mum up.
Don't wake her into ring. I'll bully her into ring. No, I'm only joking. But she will ring.
No, don't bully your mother.
No, I promise you. What can I do to prove it to you? Hey, I had all sorts to say. You know, I was going to.
You could still say it.
I was going to talk about clowns. I had other things. I had deeper subjects I wanted to talk about. You started throwing all these accusations about my accent. Where's your accent from? Where are you from?
I'm from Slough.
Slough. Well, to be totally honest, I think it's the worst Slough accent I've ever heard in my life.
He's got you there.
Well, I've moved out for a long time.
Where's Slough then? Because I couldn't tell you a Slough accent from anywhere else. You know,
Slough is one of those
non-personality blend-in background.
Oh, completely. Slough is in the Thames Valley, this kind of huge area where it's a mixture of people that moved out of London. My parents moved out of London, and then you have all kinds of wonderful immigrants from all different countries. So it's a real hodgepodge. It's kind of
it sounds very exciting.
It's very exciting.
I prefer Newcastle by the sounds of that. When I think of The Office, I think think of The Office, you know, Slough.
Yeah, that's where The Office is set in Slough, yep.
That's about the best thing that's ever happened to you, is it?
Yep.
Right, anyway. So at the sea, man...
Well, it's not the best thing that's ever happened to me. But there is a bar in Slough. I don't know if it's still there, but when The Office, a few years after The Office, there was a bar called, I think, is it Wernham Hogs?
Right, that's what they called it,
Yeah, there's a bar called Wernham Hogs in Slough High Street, and it was like, oh, God. But I tell you the best programme...
People are trying to make a living, you know.
Exactly. The best programme. The best programme, and I'm hoping this is on YouTube, the best programme to be filmed in Slough. And me and my sister watched it, and boy, oh boy, we laughed. This was about 10 years ago, called Make Slough Happy.
Oh, God.
And it was like it was on the same time as that Johnny Vaughan programme where they sent people into space. And it was over 4 weeks, and they had like 4 different experts. Like, one was a psychologist, one was a smile therapist, and they had to go round and cheer Slough up. It was the most biggest pile of I've ever seen in my life. It was hilarious.
So surely it must have had a reputation as an unhappy place.
Oh yeah, it's grim. Slough is grim.
It's not like Newcastle where people are generally chipper.
Yeah, generally. I mean, you know, generally, but I mean, Christ almighty, you know, I think it's a stereotype that not everybody conforms to. In reality, I think.
Well, I know that, but I also have Geordie mates, and what I've noticed is that they'll tell you the nightlife there is second to none, and it's not just the youngsters going out; it's the mums and dads as well, and you know.
Well, yeah, it depends where you go. It depends where you go, but you know that a lot of the areas it's quite rough. In all honesty, you know, you can end up fighting. You know,
I would, but you know me.
Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine.
So, Scott, tell us about the sea.
I know you threw us right off course, mate. I tell you what, you're milking this for me money because it's not free, this. Anyone listening, this isn't free.
Well, we've called you back, so it is free now.
Is it?
Yeah, we called you back.
Oh, well, that's all right.
Unless Ed pulled a fast one and reversed the charges.
No, I'm not that.
Can you still do that? Can you still make a reverse charge call? Do you remember there was an ad campaign about 12, 15 years ago for reversing the charges?
Holly Valance.
Holly Valance was the face of reverse charges.
Mm-hmm. It's weird, it was like Americanised, wasn't it? Where it was 0800 REVERSE, as if you typed it out, you know, with the numerical, alphabetical, you know.
If that still works, reversing the charges. I don't want to make a reverse charge call. Do you accept the charges?
Have a try, but just don't reverse it my way, because they get a reject.
No, exactly.
No, I'm only joking. I thought you were all right, you know, but you did insult us with that accent carry on, because that's crazy. That maybe you just haven't heard any proper Geordies, you know?
Maybe. My mum, we used to have a woman who'd cut our hair when we were kids called Carol Pratchett, right? And we were told she was a hairdresser, but looking at the photos, she weren't no hairdresser. She'd come round and we'd sit in the living room one at a time. Me, then my sister, then my mum, have our hair cut terribly. And her mum, or mother-in-law, was a Geordie. Mm-hmm. And I could not understand. Literally, she'd talk to me and I'd be like, what, blank face at the age of 5? Couldn't understand a word of it.
Well, I must have. I mean, maybe that's what suits you, because I must admit, I am replacing words I would normally use with words. I'm conscious. I mean, I deal with, you know, customers and stuff on a daily basis, so I'm conscious of curbing my accent on some words, and I won't say words like however, non, different, and you know, D and stuff that would sound just pure alien to.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
so
Scott,
maybe that's what it is.
It's been great talking to you.
I know, so you're trying to say I've lost all my time and I haven't even covered none of my topics because you've... I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we found the one glum Geordie.
Thank you, Scott. 0844 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Late Night Iain Lee. Unfiltered Night Talk with the original king of unconventional conversation on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Your homework, your film ring homework, is to watch Holy Hell. And we've had an email from Will, who directed it. I'm going to get back to... He sounds absolutely delightful. He's sent the most wonderful email. So I'm going to get in touch with him tomorrow. We're going to aim for Thursday this week. If we can't do Thursday this week, we'll get him on one night next week, because he's really keen to come on and chat about it. So Holy Hell, it's on Netflix. You can get a month's free Netflix just by signing up with an email and then cancelling it if you want to do it that way. It's well worth seeing. The next film will be lighter. And I was thinking about Finders Keepers. which is this film about someone who buys a barbecue. 0844 499 1000. Buys a barbecue and there's a human foot in it. And then there's a big debate as to who gets the foot, the guy that's bought the barbecue, finders keepers, or the guy whose foot it is. And because I'm looking for... It doesn't sound very upbeat, but it is very funny. And I want the next film we do to be lighter, because I think you've worked very hard, dear listener, with some quite heavy films. And Holy Hell has moments of joy and hilarity, but it's still, it goes to a dark place. But I don't think Finders Keepers is quite right. I didn't get goosebumps. The hairs on the back of my neck didn't stand up. I enjoyed it, and the last 20 minutes I thought was absolutely blinding, but and my sister recommended it ages ago, and loads of people recommended it on Twitter. It didn't quite grab me in the way that I want these films to grab me.
Well, then it's not the one.
Yeah, so it's not the one. But I'm really going to do my best to make sure that the next one that we have is we can have a good old laugh at. So keep your suggestions coming, guys, and we'll have a look. Now, Anna, I'll come to you in a minute. Oh, there's more people calling in. These clowns.
Yeah.
What is this all about? What's going on?
Well, I remember it back when we worked at the other place. There was a fella in Northampton who was dressing up as this clown.
Yeah.
And I looked it up, and it was 3 years ago. And apparently on his Instagram today he was suggesting he might return, as the original clown. But
it's not the original. I mean...
what was that film that had a clown, a scary clown? Oh, yeah.
That was rubbish. But the thing is now for clowns to burst, or not clowns, people dressed as clowns. There's a difference. What do you think a clown is? There was a press release that says that if you spot any clowns or people dressed as clowns, what is a clown? It's a person dressed as a clown. But they burst out from behind buildings and trees and stuff and scare the bejesus.
Sometimes they've got knives.
Well, there's just seen Scott's retweeted one on Twitter about and Scott's thinking because he makes T-shirts. Security confirm chainsaw wielding clown was caught on camera. There's this. Now, this is the thing. The distressing image was shared on social media as the horrific trend continues to spread across the UK.
Is it a trend?
I don't think it is. I think it's a great story for the media. Someone else has sent me a really interesting tweet saying a picture that they took. Here we go, Neil. He took a picture of a scary clown, right?
Right.
But it was for a photography course he was doing. And, of course, it's now on a website. And, of course, the media have nicked that, and some press outlets are using that as the image of this, and it's got nothing to do with it whatsoever. I wonder if it's actually happened in this country more than twice. Because, particularly with the knives and the chainsaw and stuff, no one would be that stupid.
But the thing is, now they will, right? Now we're being told it's a thing. There'll be some people who think, all right, I'm going to have a go at that.
Well, I don't think anyone would. I mean, we've got Halloween in a couple of weeks, so there might be some then. Okay, you see spooky clown. I love Halloween because you kids go and trick or treat, and it's just an absolute joy. And I might miss it because we're going to be up in.
Yeah, but we've got the weekend before. I've been talking to my daughters about that.
Well,
that's
for
when
Halloween,
most people do trick or treat, won't they? In the weekend before.
Hopefully on the Saturday, because on the Sunday we got performance ring.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think this is all just that the press have gone. This is a really good. There's me doing what Jonathan was doing and tarring the media with the same big broad brush. But I wonder if it's like it happened twice in this country, and maybe some mates have faked a little bit of video footage. I don't think it's happening.
But it's a jolly distraction from all the other news, isn't it?
Hard Brexit. Hard Brexit. 0844 499 1000 if you've seen a clown. Not ever, but bursting out from behind a thing. I just think it's... Ed sent me a link saying it's happening in New Zealand. I don't think it is. I think that the press are saying that it's happening all around the world because it's a great story. It's a brilliant story. In today's Daily Star, they've got pictures of these clowns, and it's a great story. And people, fear sells newspapers, and fear gets people phoning up radio shows.
That and the sex bots. I've noticed the Daily Star is obsessed with sex bots. I don't know whether Richard Desmond's got shares in them.
On Twitter?
No.
What's a sex bot?
Daily Star.
What's a sex bot, though?
The sex robots. Apparently everyone's going to have one.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
I'd have one.
Would you?
Yeah.
No, weird.
What if...
Every day there's a different story in the Daily Star
What
about how
if
brilliant they're going to be.
They had a sex robot,
Mhm.
right? I'm going to say something really horrible, right? This is an ethical question, okay? An ethical and legal question. Sex robot, so it's a robot, yeah?
Yes.
What if someone dressed it up as a 14-year-old child?
They do.
What?
Yeah.
But is it all right?
No.
Well...
No.
But what, they're not what law are they breaking?
No, but
What law are they breaking?
I know, but
Seriously, they're not... Are they breaking a law, dressing up a sex robot as a 14-year-old child? They're not, are they?
No, but...
So what's wrong with it?
Ethically it's wrong, isn't it?
We know that there's something wrong with it, but there's nothing legally wrong with it. Now, unless they bring in a law saying you can't have sex with a robot that looks like a 14-year-old child, what an insane law. Are they going to age the robot, saying you can't have sex with a robot under the age of 14? Well, that's nuts, because robots don't have an age of consent. They're robots. They're bots. Sex bots. Sex bot. You're a sex bot. So, again, I ask you...
You know what's going to happen. They'll do that. They'll have robot sheep and all sorts.
This was... I genuinely heard this as a theory when I worked at BBC WM, right? How about this? They make sex bots that look like 14-year-old children and give them to paedophiles.
But that's not going to be enough, is it?
To stop them actually abusing children.
That won't do it.
Well, it depends. I've yet to come across a sex bot. Innuendo intended. So I don't know how convincing they are.
Oh, well, you know, right, you would never be satisfied as a human being with
Well,
a
they're not
sex
doing
bot.
their job then.
What I'm saying is, with your particular, whatever your taste is, right?
You can buy a
could have
thing-
one of those. Well, you'd have the same one forever. A sex bot that's not going to talk to you, not going to. Well, I was going to say stimulate you in any other way.
You can buy a thing called a mangina.
Flipping heck. Is that really all it is? Well, I know it is.
But seriously, it's an interesting question. And if I were...
Oh, I know. I think that's like a gateway.
Who's the guy that used to do 999?
Michael Burke.
If I was Michael Burke on the Moral Maze, with the rise of sexual crime against children, would it be inappropriate to create robots that will perform their master's sexual bidding, sex bots, if you will, and dress them up as 14-year-old children? Well, on This Week on the Moral Maze, we've got nonce and we've got scientists and we've got all this stuff, and we're going to discuss it.
Now do that in Michael Burke's voice.
It's a serious thing. It's a serious thing.
Yeah, I know.
And exactly, and I don't think you're taking it seriously.
I am trying to.
Well, 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. Hannah!
Lady, I don't care.
Oh, gosh, that's all.
Third person.
The third person, that's, yes.
I got my pen and apple, pen and pineapple. What kind of cake?
Flipping it. Is this a sex bot? We've got a sex bot.
No.
Are you a sex bot?
No.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Where's Caddick?
What is going on? Have you taken like poppers or something?
What poppers?
Is this a soundboard?
What kind of cake?
It's not. What
It is, isn't it?
That's not a real person. What's going on with
First
him?
of all, we have fake Geordies, now fake Lady Cadonks.
What the hell is going on? 0844 499 1000. Look, I'm being sent all kinds of links, and thank you to Tanya who says this. Why is the killer clown craze sweeping across Britain? The killer clown, I can't say it. The killer clown craze sweeping across Britain has seen children being chased and clowns jumping out on people, in some instances armed with knives. Click on itv.com to find out more.
Oh.
I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's happened more than twice. I don't think there's a craze. All of the pictures I have seen, and everyone is posting pictures from news reports and then posting the original picture where it's just like a stock image of clowns or like scary looking clowns from a circus troupe or something. I have seen no pictures of killer clowns jumping out at people in this country. I'm going to go so far as to say I don't think it's happened in this country.
Because you know something? If people were doing it, they wouldn't be able to resist documenting it.
Exactly.
They'd have a mate filming it.
Yeah, I think the whole killer clown craze is a myth. I'm going to say it. It's not happening in this country. 0844 499 1000. Paul, come to you after this.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Well, during that break, if you're watching on Periscope...
You'll be as appalled as I am.
I forgot you were watching. I forgot you were watching. We really have worked out how to make a lot of money out of sex bots.
Mm-hmm.
It's the attachments, like a Hoover, as you said, like a vacuum cleaner.
So like the Dyson, you'd have to have replaceable parts.
Yeah, you'd have...
don't go through the alternatives.
I won't go through... I will not go through them then. Instead, I'll go straight to St Albans and speak to Paul. Good evening, Paul.
Hello there, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you, Paul. What you got for us, boss?
I've really looked forward to speaking to you and Kath, actually, and I needed a reason to phone up and you gave me one.
Oh, what was it? Was it about giving bread to fish?
No, not at all. It was about accusing a Geordie of not being a Geordie.
Yes.
Because he was. You should apologise. You should phone him up and apologise to him. Because
You're not the fella that you... Did you just email me?
No.
Oh, I got an email from... It says...
I would be the last person to say that about Geordies because they're sort of about my least favourite people. But you know, if you're in Newcastle or the sort of associated areas which I've been and worked, you know, you really can't understand them. But
wow.
But if you listen to the... I think
you hate them,
see
don't
where
you?
You were coming from initially, but...
you hate them?
No, I'm not saying I hate them.
You said you don't like them and you can't understand them.
Well, it really doesn't matter. Don't push me down that long.
Well, no, you've mentioned it. Why don't you like them?
No. Well, they probably hate me as well because I come from...
So you do hate them?
No, I'm not saying that.
Why do you hate Geordies?
No, I don't. What I was saying...
Why do you dislike them, though?
No, I'm not saying that.
Well, you just said... I'll let you make your point, but I just wondered, why do you dislike them so much?
This is not what I want. I just really
It's not what you want?
I just wanted you to...
It's not what they want. They don't want to be hated. They're just ordinary people.
They've got a really strong character. Probably...
And you dislike that?
Stronger than people from Slough and St Albans, I would imagine.
So you dislike them for their strong character?
Yeah, well, sometimes they can be a bit boisterous, can't they?
What's wrong with being boisterous?
Well, I'm not a boisterous person. You know.
So it's really odd to say that all people from one area are the same.
Yeah, you see, what you're doing is you're sort of trying to push me up. Yeah,
no, I'm not. I'm not doing anything. You're saying all of this yourself. You find that everybody from Newcastle is boisterous, and you hate them because of that.
What I actually called about, and you know I did, was to say that...
I don't know why you called in.
Well, what I said was the guy that you accused of not being a Geordie was definitely a Geordie, and you should call him back and you should apologise.
I think you should call back everybody in Newcastle and apologise for saying they're boisterous and that you hate them.
I haven't got their phone number, so, you know, sorry about that.
But you could find it quite easily. Or you could just say it now. You could apologise to them now for saying that they're all boisterous.
I apologise to all the Geordies that are listening to him because you misconstrued what I was actually saying.
Well, no, let's clarify then, because this is important. Because you did say that you hated them, but now you're saying you didn't. So what did you say?
Well, it's probably a bit strong. Let's
strong. So you did say it.
Let's do a trump on that.
Hey, it's
one.
fine.
It's probably a bit strong.
It's fine. Okay, so you did say you hated them. If you want to apologise to people from Newcastle for saying you hate them, Paul, over to you.
I apologise for saying that I hated you, Geordie people.
Thanks very much for calling, Paul. I appreciate that. 0844 499 1000. We've got an email here from Finlay.
Right.
How did you say that name? Finlay. Iain Lee should apologise to the gentleman from Newcastle who he insulted. He generally interrupts too much. By the way, the fella from Newcastle was on for about 13 minutes. He had a good crack of the whip. He generally interrupts too much, causing his show to degenerate into inane drivel. No, it doesn't degenerate into inane drivel. It starts at inane drivel and works down from there. He asks people to phone in, and then when they do, he doesn't let them make their points. I think he is frightened of people who are more interesting than he is. Well, that doesn't make sense, Finlay, because I want the show to be as interesting as possible. I in some ways, I try and present myself as a blank canvas, so that the callers, who are far more interesting than me, do far more exciting, wonderful things than me, they can come on and they can shine even more brightly by the fact that I'm being beige. So no, that's wrong. He needs to listen more and be more respectful to his callers. I will be more respectful to my callers. I will be ruder to my emailers, though, Finlay, so swivel on that. One caller I'd never be respectful to is Dennis from Dunstable.
Good morning, good morning.
It's 20...
Now then, the chap who was talking about Geordies...
Yes.
I've had a Geordie mate for 50 years, and he says if you move a little bit further north to a place called Blythe, he can't understand them.
What? I can't understand...
We're on holiday in a swimming pool, and I said, oh, bloody hell, another German. He said, no, he's not. He comes from Blythe. And even he was struggling to understand him, although he was a broad Geordie himself.
Yes. We're going to lose all of the regional accents within 50 years.
Well, you've still got mine, of course.
Well, we're going to lose yours in probably about 50 days.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I had a bit of a shot from the quack. I think he's going to tell me tomorrow I'll have to have an operation and I won't be able to have any more children.
Oh, Dennis.
What are you going to be doing for your last Christmas, Dennis? I don't know. I should probably be in a bloody box by then. I don't know.
Oh.
No, they're taking blood away and all that.
What's wrong?
Seriously,
you've got to go to the doctors again?
Oh, no, they came to me.
Uh-oh, what's going on?
They took the blood away, and the girl, the nurse who was looking after me, she went through all the things that you use it for, but the one thing she didn't come up with was cancer of the, what's the name?
So hang on, are you saying you have got cancer of the what's-his-name, or that you
No,
haven't?
I'm expecting the quack to tell me that I have.
Now,
it's
when you
supposed to be a keyhole operation.
When you say the what's-his-name...
But they'll stop me having children then, the bastard.
What? Hang on, what, you saying you've got testicular cancer?
Probably.
Oh, blood. Well, the thing is, they can... That's an easy operation.
I know it is, but don't you see? I said it's ruined, and we can't have any more children then, the bastard.
Quick, go and freeze some now.
Well, that wouldn't. It's frozen already.
Oh.
It doesn't bother me. I mean, life has got to end sometime.
Oh, God, Dennis, hang on a minute. That's my job to make jokes about you dying. You can't seriously start...
I'm having a good time. I don't regret anything.
Oh, no, Dennis, you can't start looking towards the end now.
I've gone past the end a long time.
I know you're well into the epilogue, but... it's for me to make jokes about you going. You can't.
The last time I had this test, and the bloke gave me the fickle finger of fate.
Yes.
And I was riding on the bed, and he said, I won't be long, Mr. Brooks. I said, if you're any bloody long, you will scratch at the back of my teeth.
So, hang on a minute. So have they said cancer, or what makes you think they're going to say it?
I'm assuming this because, as I say, they took the blood away, and it's the only thing, the nurse who did all this, she rattled all the things that I haven't got.
Yeah.
At the tape, but the one thing she didn't say anything about was testicular cancer, so I'm assuming she's booked a call for me on Wednesday morning off from the quack to tell me something. I think he's trying to drum up his...
The thing is, you are ancient. What are you, 92?
91.
91. Well, as we get older, a significant number of us get cancers. They quite often find with old men when they die. You cut up an old man in his 80s, 90s, he'll have cancers all over the place. But
well, as I say, what happens? I know it's not a big operation in itself.
Well, you worried about it?
No,
not even a bit.
No, not even a bit. As I say, what pissed me off, I can't have any more kids.
It's the third time. I'm letting you go because you're an old man and you may not be here for much longer, but please. I don't want to get an Ofcom because you've been swearing. Well...
Sorry. I shouldn't swear.
No, you shouldn't swear.
It's natural language coming out.
Natural language.
No, as you say, we should have all these lovely regional accents.
Well, we're going to...
I'm grateful for it. My boys pull my leg about my Manchester accent because they're all from down south here.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, Dennis, I'm worried about you now.
Don't worry. I'm not. I'm not.
All right.
Okie dokie.
Let us know how it goes if you feel like it.
Well, no, I'm hoping that I did like last time when I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and got 3 young ladies playing with me dinky-doo in the middle of the night.
I'm going to cut him off now.
I mean, Dennis.
Jeez, talk about a burden on society. Well, that's a worry, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a worry, isn't it?
Delivered in a way that only Dennis could.
I had another dream last night that I'd murdered somebody. I'd murdered the songwriter Tommy Boyce.
Oh, gosh. You like him, don't you?
Yeah, I do like. Well, he's dead.
Oh.
He is dead. But I was in the dream. I was like, oh yeah, no, I know he's dead because I murdered him, and I was building up the courage to tell his wife, who I know his wife, and I was going to say, oh, really bad news. It wasn't suicide. I killed him.
Gosh.
Please don't press charges. I've got a wonderful career, and it would ruin everything for me. But luckily,
Bit selfish of you, really.
It was. I know it was my selfish thought. 0844 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Late night Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Well, 0844 499 1000, by the way. We call you back. The phones haven't rung off the hook with people calling in with their clown sightings. Where was it? It's in one of the papers today. They had these pictures of these clowns, but I don't know, it could have been any. It could have been any of them, but I just don't think it's happening. I don't think it's a thing at all. Oh, we go, Donald. This isn't clowns, but there's it's a really weird picture of Donald Trump, and in the background. They've had to look hard to find this. In the background, it's most people holding up their phones, taking a picture.
Right.
But there's one hand
giving
him the bird. Salute, New Yorkers give Trump finger. But it's only one person. People love him. People love that guy. I did think he'd win it. I don't think he will now. And they're both, dodgepots, really. They're both pretty pony. But people love him, and really...
He's just saying what everyone's thinking, isn't he?
Well, yeah, really early on, people were saying, oh, no, Trump won't... He'll get knocked out in the elimination round, and then he'll get... Well, he's not. He's seeing it right to the end.
But the thing is, people who are fed up with politics the way it is will see that as a kind of protest, won't they? The same way, people don't like being told not to vote for Jeremy Corbyn.
Donald Trump went on the attack last night as he branded Bill Clinton a rapist. Now, I don't know about these allegations. The Republican presidential candidate has come under huge pressure for a string of crude comments about women, including his own daughter. Didn't he say his daughter wasn't his daughter?
He also described her, according to one of the newspapers I read, as he was talking to Howard Stern. So, called her a piece of ass.
Yep. Bill's wife, Hillary, Mr. Trump's Democratic opponent for the White House, labelled him horrific, but the billionaire businessman played dirty as he referenced sexual assault allegations made against Bill himself and ex-president.
He got 4 women to sit there and have a press conference before the debate, talking about their feelings about the Clintons. 3 of them were women who alleged that Bill Clinton did stuff to them. One was a woman who had been the victim in a trial in which Hillary Clinton defended the guy, the accused, and got him off.
Okay.
Well, although he didn't get off,
but
he got off with a lighter sentence than she thinks he deserves.
So allegations.
Uh-huh.
But then there are allegations about George Clinton from Parliament and Funkadelic. There are allegations against Donald Trump about underage sex and all kinds of, things floating around.
And some interesting to and fro from his ex-wife.
So, they're all whatever happens, we're all screwed.
The thing is, the stuff against Bill Clinton arguably has very little to do with Hillary, but the allegation made by one of the victims is that Hillary intimidated her into shutting up.
Mr. Trump faced more fury. 0844 499 1000. The phones tend to die down between sort of about 11:15 and 11:45, so now will be an excellent time to call. Mr. Trump faced more fury and ridicule last night over lewd comments he made about his own daughter. He said his girl, Ivanka, 34, that's her name.
Mm-hmm. Well, because Ivana was the wife, so Ivanka is the diminutive of Ivana, isn't
Ivanka.
it? Mm-hmm. Don't.
Was a voluptuous piece of ass and said that if they were related, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Wow.
He needs an Ivanka sex bot.
Oh, don't. That's really horrible.
Not illegal. It's immoral, but who are you to be the judge? Who are you to judge Donald Trump's morals?
Well, I think we can all judge
those. Mr. Trump did have some support last night, though. Guess who? UKIP interim leader and professional gobshite Nigel Farage, who appeared at a Trump rally in Jackson, Mississippi in August, admitted the comments were ugly, but insisted the backlash was over the top. He said, "This is alpha male boasting. It's the kind of thing, if we're honest, that men do."
Gosh, do they?
By the way, quite a lot of women say things amongst themselves that they would not want to see on Fox News or the front page of a newspaper.
They don't talk about being sexually aggressive towards men, I would suggest.
I bet some do. But it's
about the level of power,
OK, well, what about the posh woman in Cold Feet?
Oh, I know.
The power thing, she turned into a dominatrix.
I know. She snapped his belt.
So, these things happen. If we put I was going to say let's put the grabbing the P word to one side, but let's not.
It's the fact he says, I don't wait, and you can do anything when you're on the telly. They're not going to say anything.
But well, look at the grabbing. Women grab. You've been to a Chippendale show?
No.
Well, I have not.
I had someone grab my boobs once. He didn't like it when I grabbed his cojones and squished them together.
And I apologise for that. I was falling over. I needed something to steady me. Sorry, Catherine.
He was furious.
Yes.
Well, don't touch me then.
I was. I mean, what he's obnoxious and he's horrible and it's the grabbing the P word is the line for me. But then I'm a bloke. But I'm not justifying what he says. Limmy, as always, is kind of spot on about this. He said, right, all the blokes that are going online saying this is disgusting, why don't they publish their Pornhub search history? When you go into Pornhub and you type in the things you're looking for, because you can be very, very specific, why don't they all go on and type in and share their Pornhub share history?
Isn't that different, though? That's your fantasy. He's talking about...
It's still objectifying women, isn't it?
Yeah, but something that he suggests is common practice. I do this.
Oh, he's a knob. I'm not...
Oh, he's just vile.
He is vile. He's not going to be president, but he's going to...
He might.
No, I don't think he is now. It's something like 46-35 now to Hillary Clinton. She's 11 points ahead. And it's the first debate that does the damage.
Gosh. It's just horrible.
This is unusual. There's an advert for... on the opposite page for an insurance company. It's odd they've chosen... a Gary Glitter lookalike as the model. It's an unusual choice of unusual direction to go, isn't it? 0844 499 1000. Here we go. Circus stars back war on pranksters. It's not funny. Say real clowns. And then they've got pictures of clowns, right? Mm-hmm. But they're obviously clowns at, like, festival, like scary zombie clowns, but they're obviously scary zombie clowns at scary zombie clowns festivals. The battle to stop Britain's creepy clown craze has been backed by circus stars. This isn't a story. This is not a thing. I guarantee you there will be at most 2 shaky bits of camera footage of this happening in this country, if that. This is not happening. This is not a thing. No one is jumping out dressed as clowns. It might be happening in America, but America is flipping huge. There's 500 million people in America. This isn't happening. Real clowns are worried that the sinister pranksters could damage their entire profession.
Really?
Britain is in the grip of a disturbing series of incidents which has seen sickos dressed as the colourful characters, we know what clowns are, creeping up on children and frightening them. Some youngsters have even been chased and attacked. There are fears the problem could get worse in the run-up to Halloween. Here we go. The World Clown Association. Thing is, you go to the World Clown Association, you can never get a statement out of them. It's run by jokers. Hey! Said it was tired of jokers tarnishing the trade and revealed some of its performers had been quizzed by police following some of the more threatening incidents.
What? So the police have gone, what did he look like? Oh, I know a fella.
Its president, Randy Christensen, said, "Whoever's doing this crazy stuff ain't no clown!" You can tell if it's a real clown or not because when they drive away, their door falls off. It's quite good, that, isn't it? Julie!
Good evening.
What kind of clown?
The ones with sharp teeth.
There we go, you see. There you go. What you got for us, Julie? Have you seen any clowns running around?
No, and I have to say, I've got a real phobia of clowns, and I can't link it to, I've never had a bad clown experience.
Never bummed by a clown?
Never bummed by a clown.
Isn't it called,
no.
I think it's called, what's the word for it? Is it
Claurophobia.
What is it?
I think it's claurophobia.
Claura?
Yes, I think so.
Colon phobia sounds more appropriate, but okay, go on. Yes.
I can't remember why I phoned up. Oh, I was phoning up to say about the Donald Trump thing. I heard somebody on Twitter I think they were trying to spin it from the man's point of view, saying, I've heard women speak about what they'd like to do to get hold of blokes. But
yes,
I don't know any woman who's ever said anything about forcing themselves on a bloke.
Say that again. Sorry, because I just saw a tweet from someone saying if you want to grab my P word, you'd be more than welcome to. Thank you, Nat, but I'm gonna pass on that. Say that again.
I was saying that I'd seen a man put on Twitter how he'd heard women talking in a derogatory way about men.
Yeah.
About, getting hold of it. But I don't know any woman who's ever said it's not about the man or female, it's about consent. I don't know about any woman who's ever said about grabbing hold of a man against you, well, I just do it anyway.
No. The other thing was, he was talking as if it's something he did as a matter of course. He wasn't just saying, oh, I wouldn't mind giving her one. He was saying, you can do this, I do this.
Exactly. It wasn't about kind of his conquests or who he found attractive. It was about the kind of the consent. And that's, to me, it's not about his womanising, it's about the consent part of it, which is horrendous.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a thorough, and I hope no one thinks I'm in any way defending him or what he said. I think he's a thoroughly obnoxious, as I say, gentleman. He's not a thoroughly obnoxious bloke. I do. I mean, when I heard this the other night, when I got home Friday night, I guess it was when it came out, and they weren't playing that bit about grabbing the pee, and if you take that bit out of it and you just hear the rest of it. It's unpleasant,
but it's absolutely.
And it's controlling. But
there's nothing more sinister.
I didn't think it was. Is when I heard that line about and I grabbed their pee. I thought, well, yeah, that is thoroughly unpleasant.
The rest of it sounds like nasty 12-year-old showing off kind of behaviour.
Exactly. It's the male.
Oh yeah,
bravado posturing, but there's nothing worse. It's the kind of grabbing the pee without consent that I kind of found.
And isn't it funny? Isn't it funny that we're all skirting around the pee? But if we were talking about my cat, we could of course say pussy. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? It's strange. We're talking about my little cat Velvet, then we could use that word willy-nilly. I was going to say
it's willy-nilly being an appropriate.
Exactly.
I watched the debates yesterday, and I was just fixated by it. But I think the thing is that if he made an apology, but yesterday when he was questioned about it, he just started kind of.
Yeah.
He might as well have pointed to the back of the auditorium and gone, fire! There's a fire!
That's what he does. He says, oh, yeah, that was really bad. Anyway, ISIS, they're chopping people's heads. It's kind of. Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain.
Exactly. And there's no need for lengthy rhetoric. If they just, just point somewhere and go, look over there.
What it shows is the whole thing is corrupt and is bent, and you've got political dynasties now. If you're a white rich man, you can run for president, or if you're part of a political dynasty, the Clintons, the Kennedys, and the Bushes, are the main families in American politics, and that seems insane.
How do you explain Obama then?
He's the
rich backers.
I guess so. He's the exception that proves the rule, isn't he? I suppose. I mean, he's rich and he comes from rich people, and it's all bent.
But you have to have money to be able to run for power here.
Yeah, totally. It's a bent game.
But more worrying is the clowns.
Well, the clowns thing is not happening. I guarantee it.
Do you know what I said to my daughter? Because my daughter's very worried about it. She's 14, and she's heard, stories about people that they've been jumped out on. So I said to her, "Don't you think it's a bit strange that if you're going to do that, you're going to be dressed as a clown, hiding in a bush somewhere?
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. Number one, you look like an idiot, and number two, it's not exactly camouflage." And she said that actually, they're not hiding in bright clown clothes; they're hiding in dark clown clothes.
Yeah, but they've still got to walk to and from their scaring destination.
Exactly. You're off scaring kids and women again. I am. I'm doing that. That's what I'm doing tonight. Julie, thank you very much indeed. Jamie, stay there. We'll come to you after the news, if that's all right. This clown thing is utter nonsense, isn't it? Coulrophobia is the fear of clowns. And coulrophilia is the sexual attraction.
What? People like that?
Imagine a clown's face bearing down on you. But then it just...
falls off.
It shoots out sawdust and glitter. We've all been there, haven't we?
Across the UK, online and on DAB. Access all radios.
Talk Radio. Give it some lip. Talk Radio.
Well, suddenly we're 2 hours down and one more to go. It's midnight, it's Monday, it's a crappy time of the week, isn't it, really? Let's see if we can make it a little bit brighter. 0844 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee, this is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
And every evening we get set, I stroke it every chance I get. It's my girl's pussy, seldom plays and never purrs, and I love the thoughts it stirs, but I don't mind because it's hers. My girl's pussy, often it goes out at night, returns at break of dawn. No matter what the weather's like, it's always nice and warm. It's never dirty, always clean, in giving thrills, never mean. But it's the best I've ever seen, is my girl's pussy.
Done a little garden. What are you beefing on about? Who the hell is Ginger Baker?
There's one pet I like to pet. And every evening we get set. I stalk it every chance I get. It's my girl's birthday. Seldom plays, never burns. And I love both its birds. But I don't mind because it's hers. It's my girl's birthday. So often he goes out at night and returns at break of dawn. No matter what the weather's like, it's always dry and warm. I bring tidbits that it loves. We still like to turtle doves. I take care to remove my gloves when stroking my girl's pussy.
That's the new American national anthem, guys. Are you standing to attention? There we go, you see. It's the new national anthem of the United States of America. Evening, dear listener. This is Iain Lee on Talk Radio. Catherine's here. 08444991000 is the telephone number. We call you back. What are we talking about? Well, clowns, Trump,
cats,
anything you fancy, really. Jamie, what have you called in for?
Hi, I'm calling regarding my the offer I made to you on Twitter earlier.
Oh boy! I can't remember how this conversation started, but at some point, Jamie today asked me on Twitter, "Have you ever punched someone in the face?" And I replied, "Sadly, no." And then, Jamie, what was the offer that you made me?
Well, you could punch me full on in the face.
Oh, why?
Well, I mean, my head can... I've had a few punches in my time. I can take a punch.
You've not had a punch from a karate man, though?
No, but I could take a punch from you, probably.
Hey. How many punches have you had in the head?
Oh, I don't know. When I was young, I used to fight a lot.
I've never punched someone full pelt. I've had a kick-in. I've had a few kick-ins in my time. I don't know why. And I've always gone into curling up into a ball and crying like a baby and begging them to stop.
Not the face!
Just honestly, I'm pathetic. And it's my one regret that I've never full-on smacked someone with all my might. I like dead arms, and I've worked with people, Kelly Betts worked with and other people, where we would give each other dead arms. I like that. I've done that. But an actual knuckle sandwich, a bunch of fives in the face.
Right in the mush.
Right in the mush. And you were genuinely...
Genuinely. I'll sign a waiver, so you're not responsible in any way, shape or form.
Hang on a minute. What if you're a Stephen Wolfe? A one-punch wuss?
Although he wasn't punched.
Of course not.
Yeah, no, he wasn't punched. That's Hollywood, isn't it?
Yeah, but because you can, and this is serious, right? You can kill a man with one punch.
You can, but I mean, that tends to be if someone gets punched, falls down, bang their head.
Yeah.
Like I say, we can do it in a safe environment.
You want padding around you. All right, yeah, that's fair enough. I can understand that.
And I'm happy to do it with gloves on, gloves off, head guard, no head guard.
If we were going to do it, it would be gloves off, no head guard. It would be...
That's fine by me.
This is a terrible idea.
It would be... I wrestled a listener once.
Brilliant. That would be brilliant radio.
This would get us... I mean, the listener figures are absolutely awful. Punching a man in the face could get us right back up there. I wrestled a listener at another
I've
place.
seen the footage.
I remember it well.
That was
Would you prefer that, a bit of a grapple?
No, I couldn't win a wrestle now.
I don't know.
I couldn't do it. What, you saying I'm fat?
No, I'm just
saying.
Wow. No, I'm just...
Flipping heck, you actually went there.
No, I didn't.
You went there.
I didn't.
That's hurtful.
That is outrageous.
I'm just saying that now you've had one bout, you might be ready for the next one.
I couldn't do it. I only won that fight by... If you watch that wrestle,
it's persistence,
right,
wasn't it?
If you watch that wrestle, he nearly gets me down in the first 20 seconds. He gets me down, and I just managed to... If I hadn't have flipped that round in the first 20 seconds, he'd have won. No, I put a finger up his...
You bossed him.
I bossed him.
Don't be fighting.
Hang on a minute. It's not fighting. Let's just get the ground rules. And you would not be allowed
to... in front of you.
Yes.
I would not retaliate.
How tall are you?
5'9".
5'5"?
5'9".
5'9". All right, so you'd have to stand on a box.
That's all right. I'll stand on a box.
All right, so you'll be a man
I've
maker.
got a good hard jaw and a good hard head. I used to do boxing when I was a kid, and I've received punches off big men before, and it's it's fine.
I think he's into this a bit too much, if you know what I'm saying.
I've got a good hard.
I've had one fight in the last decade. I try and steer away from it. I'm not.
And this wouldn't be a fight. I mean, this would be. I would punch you.
I'll stand there, hands beside my seat, by my side, and you can punch me in the face.
I mean, yeah, part of me is thinking this is awful, but the 97% of me is thinking, oh, this is a dream come
People want to see this, you know.
Yeah.
You saw the response. I mean, at least 3 people want to see it.
We could sell, if we sold tickets.
Pay my medical bills.
I'm serious, if we sold tickets, would you be happy with a 50-50 split?
More than happy.
We sold tickets, I mean, what, a tenner a pop?
I'm not getting involved in this. This is a terrible idea.
You're going to be walking around holding up the
ring girl.
Ringo holding up the numbers in shorts.
We could have Ed doing that, actually.
Well, Ed is a Christian, and I think this might go against his Christian beliefs. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what it says in the Bible about.
Thou shalt not punch.
Thou shalt not punch some bloke in the face when he's
even if he asks for it.
I don't know. I don't want to offend him. Let's put it out there, Jamie. Let's put it out there. Let's see if people would be up for it, and whether they'd. Oh no, he says he's typed on the screen. Christians are allowed Fight Club. Nice one. All right, well, Ed's in.
Oh, excellent.
Ed's in. Let's put it out there, Jamie. Let's see if people would be prepared to pay £10 to come and see it. If we get 100 people, tenner a time, I would. If if Clive Bull was going to punch one of his callers, I would pay a tenner for that.
Yeah.
Of course I would. We get 500 quid each.
Brilliant. Christmas is coming.
I mean, but I could seriously, but be serious for a second, right? Because I'm genuinely considering this.
It's a genuine offer.
And I know it is, and I appreciate it. And I was reading your tweets, and I was thinking, oh, this is so exciting. I mean, we would have to get like a legal form drawn up, because I could blind you.
I know. I do understand. I understand all of this, and I will absolve you of any blame. I'll sign a waiver, whatever you like.
This
and
is...
it's so satisfying to punch someone right in their face.
Yeah. And what, it's one punch, yeah? Just one punch?
Just one punch.
And if I muffed... Just one punch. That's all it took, yeah, just one. And if I muffed it up, if I held back, that was it. Tough, that was your chance.
If you miss with your first swing, then you can have another go, but that's it.
So if I hit first and I'm not satisfied with it, that's tough. That's it.
Tough. Tutty.
Hang on a minute. Let's Amy?
Yes.
You're a woman, yeah?
Yeah.
Would you be up for me punching Jamie in the face?
Well, seeing as I don't really know him. Whatever.
That's the best answer you could have given.
If there was a free bar, I would pay the £10 to get in.
There's not a free bar, but would you pay? Would you, as a woman, right? Would it offend you if a man punched another man just for pleasure?
Not at all. It's what you guys do. Is that whatever? It's your prerogative.
You're American, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah, so it's different. The violence is very much de rigueur over there, isn't it? It's guns and all of that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pistol whip him or anything.
They invented the Fight Club.
Yeah.
They don't talk about it.
Jamie, I tell you what we're going to do.
You can't talk about it.
Yeah. Jamie, I tell you what we're going to do.
Yep.
We're going to put it out there and see if enough people are interested in it, and if they are, we'll make something happen.
Wicked. I went up for that.
Nice one, man.
Nice to talk to you again.
Thank you, Jamie. I look forward to punching you in the face.
I look forward to receiving your fist in my face.
Thanks, Jamie. Nice one. This could be... I'm going to be honest, Amy.
Yeah.
The listening figures, they'll fob you off and say that for the station as a whole is great. They're not. And for this show, they're awful. This genuinely could be the thing that elevates us to
Elevate.
Well, he won't be. He'll be
I think he'll be fine.
develated.
Deflated.
Yeah. Amy, stay there. We'll come to you in a second, and we'll hear what you've called in for. 0844 499 1000. Genuine question. Would you pay £10 to watch me punch some bloke in the face? This is Talk Radio.
The radio show for people who know the best part of the day is the night.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
I feel invigorated. I feel alive. I'm going to punch a tiny man in the face. 5'9", oh bless him.
Still taller than me.
Well, but you're a woman. You're meant to be dainty.
Oh.
Oh, Amy's there. Hello, Amy.
Hello.
Hey, Amy. What you got for us?
Well, I was just listening in. I'm on holiday from America, and I was really happy to be away from all the politics, and I heard you talking about them.
We don't normally. It just. I don't know. Have you heard this show before, Amy?
I have not.
Okay, well, the conversation kind of comes up as the conversation comes up. So we tend not to talk about those things, but it just kind of came up in the conversation, so we followed it for a little bit.
Well, I just about was beside myself laughing because it was just, politics are laughable to begin with.
Yeah. What the hell is happening to your country, Amy?
It's going to hell in a handbasket is what it's doing.
Was that the phrase over there? We say a handcart over here. It used to be the best country in the world, and now it sucks.
Yeah. Because everyone does whatever they want to do, and no one holds responsibility to a high point anymore. So.
Why are you holidaying in the UK in miserable, cold October?
Well, actually, it's about the same temperature back home where I'm from.
Whereabouts are you from?
I'm from Pennsylvania.
Oh. We're both on noise. I don't know why. I don't know.
It's pretty there. It's like...
We have that bad a reputation.
No, it's pretty there, isn't it? Isn't it woodland?
It is.
The only place I know in Pennsylvania is a tiny town called Beavertown.
Well, you would know
I don't know Beavertown, but there is a blue ball.
Blue balls and beavers.
You're welcome.
And where are you over here? Where have you? What are you doing and seeing?
I am visiting my boyfriend and his family in Willenhall.
In where?
Willenhall in the Midlands, West Midlands. Sorry.
Say it again, one more time.
Willenhall.
Rowan Hall.
Willenhall.
Oh, Willenhall. Oh, okay. So it's near Birmingham.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. We don't know the small places here either. It's all. And you're listening to this rubbish. What the hell is wrong with you, Amy? For crying out loud!
Late at night.
Is this them showing you a good? Oh well, what we do in England is we listen to this idiot banging on for 3 hours every night. We don't go out. We don't go for meals or go and see plays. We sit and listen to the radio.
Well, no, we're getting caught up on Cold Feet, and then we were relaxing before bed, so we were listening to your show.
Did you not think? Spoiler alert, guys! Did you not think? Don't!
I'm only on season 4.
Oh, for Christ! You really are catching up.
I have 2 weeks.
Oh, blimey! Because I've never seen it. I've only ever seen 2 episodes, and that was last week's and this week's.
Then you need to catch up on 5 seasons? Yeah.
My mum's got the DVDs. I'm sure she'll lend.
I don't think I'm going to bother because
it's wonderful.
What I've seen of this series, it really hasn't impressed me in the slightest. Hey, Amy, who do you? How long are you over for?
I'm over for, another week and a half.
And are you digging it? Are you enjoying it?
I'm loving it so far. We're going to Kent tomorrow.
Oh, the England's garden.
Of England.
That's it, the Garden of England. Well, listen, we love having you over here, and we're glad you're enjoying it. We're glad you've called in. It's really unusual to get someone who's on holiday phoning in. What do you listen to a lot of radio back home?
I do, yeah.
What kind of stuff do you listen to?
Some local stuff, and then... What's that? Oh, I love this one show called Elvis Duran in the Morning Show. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Who in the morning?
Elvis Duran.
Elvis Duran?
He sounds like a
He's
dude.
out of New York. If you haven't listened to him, you should go to iHeartRadio and listen to him.
Elvis, I'm going to go... Why is it... What does he do? Because American radio is kind of a mystery to me. Elvis Duran in the morning show. Here we go. Elvis Duran at iHeart.com. What does he... Why is he so good?
They do a morning show from like 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., and they just talk about everything and anything.
Well, I've just clicked on there, and there's a dominatrix Bethany. Walking on a man. Bethany decided to put her... What is it? Bethany decided to put her knee-high boots to work and sexually pleasure Greg T with her sexy boots.
What?
Flipping heck!
It's probably involving some sort of pain. Because
yeah, it's a bloke in his pants, underwear, and a woman in high-heel boots is walking on him. What the hell is this filth?
The Greg T guy, he will pretty much do anything they tell him to. He strapped himself to the back of a pickup truck, and they drove through a car wash once while he called in the radio.
He's there, Justin.
We need to humiliate Ed in this fashion.
Yeah, well, he doesn't get stripped naked nearly enough, does he?
Ed, does your, I don't know, your Christian beliefs allows you to watch me punch a man. Does it allow a dominatrix to walk across you while you're in your underwear? He says yes.
Not me personally.
He says yes. Do you know what? Well, I'll have a check out of this guy then, because I'm always keen to find new people, and in America there's a vast, rich world of people to listen to. Amy,
weirdos.
Weirdos, exactly. Amy, I'm really glad you called in, and maybe we'll speak again before you go home.
That's great.
Thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
Bye. There we go. It was nice, isn't it? That's also where is, I can't see Ian. Where would Ian? What do you mean he's on our side? Can't talk in the microphone because I don't know what yours. I'd have to cue you to put him through, would I? Okay. You can speak, Ed. Nodding and whispering in my ear. We've been working together for over 6 months. You know that doesn't work.
I just hear.
Don't want to talk to you now.
Too late, mate.
That was nice of Amy to call in, wasn't it? That's unusual for someone on holiday to call in. Gosh. I mean, pointless, because she won't have a radar diary, so it was literally no impact on...
No, but it was nice.
Well, it was nice, Amy. Thank you for that. Well, there you go. That's a way of doing it. Let us go... Do I have to operate a fader, then? You sure? Ian's there.
Hello.
Hey!
Hello. I seem to have caused trouble.
You've caused trouble, Ian. Ian is calling us via Skype, and we've had to do black magic and voodoo and all.
I know.
Probably can't call it black magic anymore. Well, that's what terrible. It is. The dark arts. Can't even say that. It's racist.
I apologise to Ed if I get him the sack.
Oh no, it's just another thing to add to the long list of Edisms. Now,
well, he's one of them, isn't he? He's one of them that needs to go.
Yes,
isn't he?
Exactly. Now, brief shorthand. This is Ian, who. When did we speak? About 3 months ago?
Oh, well, I can tell you exactly the day. It was Bastille Day, which is July the 14th. Because I was calling you moaning about my problems at precisely the time that there was a maniac ploughing into a bunch of people in Nice in a lorry, which of course we didn't know at the time.
Was that then? Yeah, of course.
It was exactly that night, and it was absolutely terrifying. When we finished the call, I went onto the BBC website, and that was the news, and I thought,
yeah, I remember
my problems are so trivial, you know.
Yeah, well, no, they're not. They're not. But people may remember you because you nicked a bottle of wine off of some friends, and
that is correct.
You were worried about drinking and telling people and all of that kind of stuff. And we talk occasionally on Twitter.
That's correct.
It's good to know that you are still alive. How's things going?
It's fine. Yes, I mean, booze is still a part of my life. But it kind of in a controlled way, you know, and that's the alcoholic's excuse, I guess, you know.
Maybe not. You might not be, you know. Maybe things got out of hand a bit. I don't know. I don't know you, but you know what's going on and stuff. Did you tell your friends that you nicked that bottle of wine?
I told my partner, right. And it's her family, and she made kind of the executive decision that it, you know, not to report the misdemeanor.
That's interesting. Yeah.
And basically just replace it and pretend it never happened. Basically,
I bet you were relieved at that decision, were you?
Well, I tell you what, it was. I didn't argue.
Yeah. Well,
I did not argue.
What you know, whatever causes the least pain for the most people. That's what it's all about. I mean, how are you feeling though, man? Because I've been, you pop into my thoughts from time to time, and we get a few people emailing me and saying, "What happened to that fella in France who was struggling?"
That's really sweet. Isn't that sweet though?
Yeah, there's a lot of nice people
lovely,
out there.
Lovely thing, and it's nice that you think about me from time to time.
Well,
life's good, really. It is difficult to complain, actually. I live in a beautiful place. I live in a nice country. I've got a loving partner. I enjoy my work. And just every so often that demon strikes, But in general, yeah, life is fantastic.
When you say that, when your demon strikes, what do you mean? You go on a massive bender or something?
Yeah, it's the bender. It's the bender.
When was the last one?
About 3 weeks ago, maybe.
And what happened? If you don't mind me asking, you can tell.
No,
you don't have to answer if you don't want.
I kind of called to unburden a little bit, don't I? Of course,
Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of feeling pressurised, feeling a little bit lonely, a bit homesick sometimes. I'll tell you what, homesickness is a strange malady, because 90% of my life I'm incredibly grateful to live in France, but there's that 5 or 10% of the time when I just miss Britain, England.
What do you miss? Do you miss family? Do you miss the telly? Do you miss the language? What do you miss?
A bit of all of that stuff. Yeah. Just the mix of all of it. Just hearing the comforting kind of accent of home. Yeah. Being able to walk into a shop and for it just to be easy.
Yeah. Do you know what it is? I remember this when I lived in France. It's nice. Yeah. It's nice not to be foreign.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. Not to be the odd one out.
Yeah.
And Kath, I never get. I say never. I very rarely get treated badly for being English here.
No.
But you are always the different one.
Yeah, the curiosity.
The curiosity. The goldfish in the goldfish bowl.
I remember.
And whilst that's very pleasurable. A lot of the time, sometimes it's just enough. It's just enough, man. Just leave me alone. And then there's just silly things like smells, going into like a corner shop and just that smell of like spices and stuff that you just don't get here. You do not get here.
Yeah.
Fish and chip shops, vinegar. Oh God, vinegar.
It's funny.
Please, just Ian. Please post me some vinegar.
I'm not getting involved. I'm not getting involved in vinegar smuggling. But I'm curious. So, what? 3 weeks ago, you were feeling homesick.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, maybe that's an excuse, but that's what I put it down to. Just extreme homesickness, feeling a bit of pressure because I was starting some new contracts with work. And so what did I do, man? I hit the bottle, drank for 2 or 3 days. So it was awful.
Yeah. Why was it awful? What happened?
Well, because you just feel so physically drained and you feel worthless and pathetic, and nothing good comes from drinking hard, does it? Nothing good comes from drinking hard. Drinking in moderation, drinking sensibly and sociably is a fantastic thing. Drinking hard, like drinking properly, in inverted commas, nothing good ever comes from that. Apart from, painful internal organs, a drained bank balance, and a sense of absolute shame.
Yeah, the shame and the shame and the money to. What is your was your missus around, or has she gone away?
No, she's always around. She sees it.
And what does she do? Does she ignore it? Does she just go, "Oh, no. Ian, for goodness sakes"? Or what does she do?
She tries to talk to me, but she's sensible enough to not try and kind of force me to do something I don't want to do.
Yeah.
That way only arguments lie.
Yeah.
And she's a rock of patience and perseverance. It's remarkable, actually.
Do you think she's going to be a rock of patience forever, or do you think that patience is going to get tried?
Well, I think that everybody has a limit, don't they? Everybody has a breaking point, and I don't see it. I think if it were going to happen, it would have happened.
Well, some people stick in the most abusive relationships, whether it be physically or mentally, or it be because someone's an alcoholic or a drug addict. People can stay with them for years. You know, it's codependency, they call it, where someone needs the booze and the other person needs the chaos that the booze brings. You know, and
Well, we're 15 years deep, so she's had plenty of opportunity to. She's had plenty of opportunity to bail if she wanted to, you know. And she's stuck with me for 15 years. I don't see it changing anytime soon.
She deserves a bit better, though, doesn't she?
Well, that's a curiosity, isn't it? Because, you know, the bender that happens once every couple of months is a terrible thing, of course. But part of the part of the reason she's into me is because, as you've just said, Ian, is because, you know, I am kind of, you know, a force of chaos, basically. And that's part of the reason she digs me, you know. So if I was like a straight-laced accountant guy, you know, totally secure, totally stable, never caused any problems, it bore her senseless.
It is well. I suspect that if you were if you didn't have those benders, I suspect that she would still dig you, man. But you do hear of couples. You know, the one's an alcoholic and they can be together for years, and then when that person gets sober, you know, 2 years later they split up because the dynamic in the relationship has changed so significantly. But I'm not saying that's, you know, it's not saying that's what would happen to you. We don't know if you're an alcoholic or anything. We don't know what's going on.
Sorry.
No, go on.
I had a good friend, and he was a heavy smoker of cannabis, and his partner asked him to stop smoking, and he complied. And 2 weeks later, she said to him, "For God's sake, start smoking weed again."
It happens. Hey, Ian, listen, I'm going to move on because I'm late for the ads. I'm glad you got through to us. I'm glad you're alive and well. And,
Thank you.
You know, a lot of people are rooting for you. And, you know, I hope everything's all right.
Life's good, man. Thanks.
Cheers, man. Take care.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Little glimpse into other people's lives. Tris and Kyle, stay there. I'll come to you after this. 0844 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
Last 25 minutes of the first show of the week. I'm Iain Lee. Catherine Boyle is here. If you call up now, you'll speak to Ed. He will take your number and will call you straight back. And if you call up now, well, you'll be on in the next 25 minutes. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. Who's been here the longest? Tris has. Yes, Tris!
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 Tris. What kind of cake?
Jasper.
No, that's a biscuit.
Oh, let's not. That's a very age-old argument, Catherine, isn't it?
No, there's no argument.
It has cake. It's got a sponge on the bottom.
Yeah, no, I don't... Listen, guys, the final word on this is technically a biscuit because one pays VAT and the other one doesn't. I can't remember what it is, but it was taken to court and it's a biscuit. Tris!
Yes?
What you got for us?
Well, I'm surprised I'm saying this, and it wasn't what I initially called up for, and I'm saying this from a place of love, and I hope Catherine backs me up on this, but please don't punch a listener in the face.
Huh?
Don't punch a listener in the face.
Well, you heard me saying I don't think it's a very good idea, but since when did he listen to me?
Yeah, I know he's trying to play up to, like, working for the Sun now and being all blokey and Page 3 and all that, but don't punch a listener in the face.
There's nothing Page 3 about punching a short man in the face.
You will be stripped to the waist, though, won't you?
No, it's not going to be a sex thing. No, of course not. I'll probably wear tracksuit trousers and a loose-fitting T-shirt for maximum arm retraction. But we were talking about it on Twitter, and I'm so glad he phoned in, because the more I think about it, the more it's a win-win situation.
In what sense?
He's up for it. He likes being punched, right? So he's sorted, right? He'll make, if we sell 100 tickets at 10 quid a ticket, he gets 500 quid, right? So that's fine, right? I get 500 quid. That'll be quite handy at the moment. I get the thrill, the visceral thrill of doing something that we all want to do, and that is punch someone with our full force. Right?
Why do you
You
wanna
can't
punch
tell
someone
me,
in the face?
you can't tell me, Tris, you've never wanted to punch someone in the face, full force.
Not in a calm and considered way as you seem to be doing it. I mean, maybe in the heat of the moment. I never have.
No. Maybe I didn't make this clear. I'd work myself up into a rage before I did it.
Oh, fair enough then. Crack on.
Oh no, I'd make myself. I'd get him to say things about my mum or I don't know what. But I'd get angry.
You made sure he suffered, yeah?
No. But if I'm gonna do it. And I'm being cold about it now because I'm seeing it from a scientific and I'm going to say an artistic point of view. But I would get him to work me up into a rage, and then I would do it. I've never punched anyone before. I've never, even fights at school and stuff. I never did it. Hands always came up protecting myself. Never punched anyone. So it'll be a once in a lifetime thing to do.
I've never done it either, and I don't.
You've wanted to, haven't you?
No, I haven't.
Oh, come on. You never got bullied at school or beaten up at school. And then you went home and you're in bed at night and you're punching the pillow going, this is what I would have done.
No, absolutely.
Boom.
As a reaction, yeah.
Thank
but
you.
not as a planned out, cold, callous thing.
Wait, so it's the callousness that upsets you?
I think so, yeah. And you have to ask, why does someone like being punched in the
I
face?
don't need to ask that question. That's not my question to ask.
That was my concern. He seemed a little too eager for it.
Yeah.
Kath was saying during the break that she might not come. You'll be there as my producer.
I'm not coming.
As my producer, you will be
I
there.
strongly disapprove.
I agree with you, Catherine, completely.
Well, you don't. Here's the thing, guys. You don't like the show, you don't have to listen. You don't want to see me punch a man in the face, you don't have to come. But it will be the must-see event of the year. I suggest we do it near Christmas. It will become a YouTube sensation, and it will elevate this show to that of legendary state.
Ian needs Christmas cracker.
Have you heard that show where the guy he punched the listener in the face? Are you joking? No, it happened. Have you got a copy of this on tape or something? No, of course I haven't got it on tape. I've got a digital file I can email you. But even better, send it over. I will. What's your email address?
Yeah.
SoundCloud it, podcast it, MP3, MP4 it.
See, I'm not denying that it will become part of the zeitgeist, but I just don't think it's ethically what we should be getting involved in. And frankly, I'm disturbed that you've taken to this idea with quite so much gusto.
It's touched. There is a man deep inside of me.
Mm.
No, that sounds wrong.
Just the one?
Today.
You've taken holy hell to heart, haven't you?
Deep inside of me, there is an angry man that wants release. This sounds wrong. I don't mean it to sound like that. Sounds rude. It sounds like there's something suspicious going on. Not at all. I just think it will be fun. Hand on heart. Honestly, I just think it will be fun. It will be really nice to feel what it feels like. And if there's a fella that wants to do it, I'm up for it. You'd be mad to turn it down.
Would you?
Yes. This is a chance in a lifetime. A, I get to punch someone. B, I get to my show gets a bit of publicity.
Tell you what's going to happen as well.
What?
You'll put your back out.
I might put my back out. That is a very good point. We'll have an osteopath. We'll have St John's ambulance standing by for me, not for him, for me in case I do myself a mischief.
Did he win? Yeah, he did.
That might happen. I'll have to get my back seat. I'll get checked. I'll have a physical and stuff before to make sure I'm up for it. Yeah, I reckon we aim for Christmas. Tris, are we going to see you there? Are we going to see you there or not?
No, you're not.
Okay, mate. That's disappointing. Absolutely disappointing. But if you want to be left out of the conversation in the playground the next day, that's up to you. 0844 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Muted. Kyle!
Evening.
Evening, Kyle.
I'm offering my services.
Oh, yeah, go on. As what? As a male escort? Kath, he's phoned in for you.
I'm all right, thanks.
He's phoned in for you, Catherine.
No.
He's a male escort, and he wants to service you. It's all been about me tonight, and being the gentleman I am, I'm prepared to let you have a caller.
Forget escorts, I've got a Reliant.
No, I'm offering my services to you, Ian.
Oh.
Oh, go on, as a male escort?
No, I'm offering my services as a manager.
There we go.
He's going to be Mickey to your Robin.
Here we go. Go on.
At the minute, I'm caught on the fence because I honestly think Jamie is got to take you down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is too easy.
So I'm offering my services either to yourself, either to Jamie, but either way, I think you got to suplex City.
What's this? So this woman, hang on a minute. Louise is getting angry. You can retweet. Louise is angry that I'm doing this, right? You can retweet it as you have, as a mother of 3 boys who tells them not to go out and fight. It's stupid. I'm not fighting. It's not a fight. This is the thing. It's not a fight.
No, it won't be a fight.
I don't agree with fighting.
He's going to crush you.
What?
He's going to crush you.
Hang on a minute. Sorry, I've missed a bit of what Carl was saying. What are you talking about?
So I'm offering my services to you or Jamie. You don't seem that interested, so therefore I will go with Jamie.
Well, go with... Hang on a minute. Go with... The deal is, Jamie gets 500 quid, I punch him, that's it. That's what you mean, it's not a fight, I'm not into fighting, I'm a pacifist.
You're loving at a fighter. So, can Jamie not punch you?
No! If you don't listen to anything. You should sit... Were you too busy escorting tonight, Kyle, and you missed the facts? The facts are, it's not a punch-up, I punch him once, that's it. Game over.
Right, and we're expected to pay £10 to watch that, are we?
You were going to be my manager a minute ago.
Well, no, I'm offering my services to you or Jamie. I think Jamie will totally cream you, given half a chance.
But it's not a fight! I'll fight you in a minute with a stick round your head.
There's no need for that.
I'm cutting you off now, you're being stupid. It's gone. It's not a fight, guys. It's not a fight.
You made a good point.
I'm a pacifist.
With the emphasis on fist.
No, don't. I believe in peace. If there was a war now and I got called up, I'd be a Conchi. I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go to war. I don't believe in fighting, but this isn't a fight. It's a bit of theatre. That's all it is. It's a bit of theatre.
Yeah, but you're going to actually connect with his face, aren't you?
Hopefully. That's the plan. Let's go to Fox. Hello, Fox.
Hello.
Hello, Fox.
Hi.
Hello, Fox.
Can you hear me?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to say I've been watching you since I was a kid, and I just wanted to say hello and everything.
What do you mean you've been watching since you were a kid? What are you talking about, man? You sound about 40.
I'm 27.
Shut up.
Yeah.
You're joking.
No,
By the way, you know we have a dump button and a 7-second delay?
Okay.
So go on then, Fox. You've been watching me since you were a kid.
I'm a bit shocked that you want to go around punching people, so...
I don't want to go around punching... Is anyone listening to the show? I don't want to go around punching people.
You want to go around punching people for money. This is what it sounds like.
No, I don't want to go around punching people. I want to go and punch a person for money. Yes, I don't want to go around punching people. I want to go to a place and punch one person who's volunteered.
Okay, man.
Why does that shock you? Have you ever punched anyone?
Yeah.
What did it feel like?
It didn't feel very good, actually.
No.
Myself.
Why did you... So you go around just punching people willy-nilly on the street. That's insane, Fox. You think that's an example to be setting young people? I don't. I'm going to be punching a volunteer in a controlled laboratory conditions.
You're putting the fist in pacifist, right?
Yeah.
I'll put the pass... No, hang on.
Go on.
I'll put the wink in winker.
Oh.
Okay.
With you in a minute.
All right.
So you get into street brawls, Fox. That's insane. And you've called up To lecture me on morality?
I don't get into street brawls.
Well, you've just told me about you punched someone in a fight in the street. I've never done that.
I didn't say in the street. I was at school.
All right, so even worse, you go to school. You're 27, and you go to schools to beat up kids.
Ages ago, man.
All right, you were 23, and you went to a school to beat up a kid. That is nuts. You bet you're one of these people that you're going to go and buy a clown outfit and start jumping out at 9-year-olds.
Yeah, man, I'll jump out at you.
Yeah, well, see? You see? And this is... Don't cry, Fox. I wasn't really going to hit you. He's crying now, like a baby. Fox, are you coming?
Where is it going to be?
Suddenly he's interested. It's going to be in London somewhere.
Okay, cool. I'm in London.
Right, so you whereabouts? You North London?
West London.
West, yeah. Whereabouts West London? Hammersmith?
No, Notting Hill.
Oh, I know it, yeah. I think I drove past you once.
Probably.
Yeah. Tall fella, yeah?
Yeah.
That's, with dark hair?
Yeah.
I saw you.
Where?
In Notting Hill.
Near a school.
Punching kids.
Oh, shit.
Don't do drugs, guys. All right, well,
no, but seriously, I just want to say I think you're awesome. And
Fox, I think you're awesome.
Enjoy the show.
And I look forward to letting you take a picture of my fist when I've used it on a man.
Your pacifist.
Thank you, Fox. See, fans. I've got fans.
Yeah.
I'm an inspiration to young men.
I hope you can sleep tonight.
I'll sleep. I don't think I'll be able to. I'm too excited. I reckon we aim for Christmas.
Don't say we, because it's now to do with me.
You're my producer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not your trainer. I'm not going to be.
Okay, Louise is not. Louise says, I used to like this guy. WTF, I'm sorry, I don't find this funny at all. Hang on, tonight's the first night you've listened to the show.
Yeah.
So you're obviously not that big a fan.
She used to like you half an hour ago.
But you're not that big a fan. Anyway, so that's all happening, and that's exciting. We'll sort all that out. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, if you want to put your name on the list for tickets.
Do you want to make the put a fist in pacifist joke again?
You did that joke first.
I did, it was mine, but that often happens.
Well played, The Sun.
It's an excellent paper.
Unexpected IS in the bagging area. Jihadi delivers groceries to homes.
Wow.
Poor lad. And Kalash and Carry, because that's a bit like Kalashnikov. I think they're clever. And they should be respected for that. Waiting for Eddie's going to rush this call through. He's going to rush it straight through.
This is going to be the one, this call.
This is the one. He's going to rush. He's rushed it through. Well done, Ed. Yes, Tom.
Good evening, Ian. I've got a suggestion. Why don't you wallop yourself in the face?
Well,
because then you'll get £1,000. There wouldn't be anyone to split the money with.
Actually, he makes a good point there.
Why don't you go and tickle yourself?
Because I'm not ticklish.
Well, shut up. Everyone's ticklish.
Actually, I think it's an interesting phenomenon that if you tickle yourself, it doesn't have the same effect because the nervous system compensates.
Are you starting to see why I brought that up now?
What, just to lead me down an alley?
No, it's not an alleyway. It ties in.
It's a cul-de-sac.
It ties in with what you just said.
I'm sure that's correct, but I can't see.
What do you mean you can't see?
It's too late. Too late an hour to.
You can't tickle yourself. You can't punch yourself.
You can punch yourself.
Jeez, you can actually.
Wow,
yeah.
you all right?
Well, you can.
I've done it accidentally.
Yeah. I've literally just punched myself. Actually,
You're going to get a black eye.
I've literally just punched. Tom, you're absolutely right. It turns out you can punch yourself. Thank you, Tom.
You're right.
That's a dangerous phone call. Put a red triangle by his name. Warning: dangerous caller, incites violence.
Yeah.
Sam.
Ian.
Hey, Sam. Hip, Sam. What you got for us?
Just wanted to offer my services for your punching fest Not sure if I agree with it, but I'm an air ambulance paramedic, so I will be by the side of the ring to pick you up.
Andy.
Or him.
It's him that's going to go down. There's only one punch being landed. It's not a fight.
Yeah, no.
That'd be wicked. Have you got like certificates and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, I won't be able to bring the helicopter, but I've got a first aid kit and everything.
And it's got. Have you got the bandages that you could you wrap a bandage around his head?
His head, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, not a problem.
That'd be great. Put a bandage around his head. That looks good, and it would look great for the pictures.
Paracetamol.
Yep. Nice one. All right, Sam. Well, it's going to be near Christmas. Are you free near Christmas?
You let me know. I'll be there.
Brilliant. All right. Nice one, man. Thank you.
Cheers, pal. Bye.
Cheers. There we go.
So there's going to be one man down in the air ambulance because of this foolishness.
It is just a little bit of fun. It's just a little bit of fun. I'm on a bit of a roll. I've recently made a short film for the Tate Britain.
You're not joking. How long is it?
56 seconds. They didn't use any of the footage they shot in what I call the
migraine
room.
ages.
I was there for a long, long time, and I'm thinking, was it really that bad what I did that they can't use any of it? That's what I'm thinking. But from the Tate Britain they paid me with tickets that run out on Friday to a show that I can't get to see because of the timing. But from the Tate Britain to the Tate Fiston. I'm not very good at selling stuff.
No.
I'm really trying.
We need to talk about this. This is a ridiculous idea.
Someone's having a go at me, and then someone's just replied to them, "One punch, chill out." Guys, listen, honestly, don't get worried about it. It's just a bit of fun. The fella is totally up for it, and it will be a laugh. Sam will be there. We will genuinely get medical people there. It's going to be fine. We'll make sure he's checked. Honestly, we will do it completely legitimately and above board. We'll make sure he's checked beforehand to make sure I'll punch one of those things at a circuit, the fair, test your strength thing, just to make sure I haven't got freak killer punch. It'll be fine. It'll be a bit of fun. Some of the money will go to charity. Don't worry about it, guys. Old showbiz hack that I am will make this work in some kind of Kaufman-esque manner. Now, that's it, guys. That's your lot. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to download the podcast. Thank you, Ed, for your sterling work. Thank you, Catherine. And thank you, Periscopers and everybody who's joined in tonight. I think we made it once again. Back tonight at 10. Ta-ta.
Talk Radio, the 21st century dream team of dialogue, debate and discourse.
Talk Radio. Give it some lip.